I'd be remiss if I didn't start my show off with congratulations to our father, Pope Leo the 14th. And I hope he is an absolutely sensational pope. You know, you get emotional when you're a Catholic and leader of our church. And when you've been raised your entire life, I think today reminds you of some of the things that when things are going rough in your life, that puts a smile on your face, or smiling tears, as I like to say when I was younger. I know my aunt right now is very emotional with that. So congratulations to Pope Leo the 14th. I think that's sensational. Godspeed. And I can't wait to see what's next for the Catholic Church as we move forward. So enough of that. I think it's great. It's one of the great events. I agree, Sue. I got emotional too. I always do. Sue, I was telling Xander, one of the coolest things on the planet that I got a chance to do was for John Paul II. My Catholic school got a chance to go down with. We were the Archdiocese of Bridgeport, one in New York, one in New Jersey, and we got to be altar boys, Yankee Stadium, for John Paul II when he came to New York. So pretty cool stuff, man. Great stuff for all. God bless everyone. Please hit the like button. We appreciate you guys. Hey, by the way, let me ask you something here. I thought I saw Jalen Hurts on a horse at the cricket club. Right? I mean, did I see that? Jalen Hurts on a horse at the cricket club. I mean, holy cow. Boy, I got to like Barkley, man. This guy is the man of the people. Hurts, on the other hand, you know, I don't know, man. If I had to look at a dude that is every guy's man, that's Saquon Barkley. Saquon Barkley, man, I can identify with that dude. Hurts, on the other hand, Met Galas and, you know, I don't know, you know, cricket clubs and whatever. You know, I just, you know, yeah. You know, he's over at the cricket club. Thank you there, Xander. I know you got it with me too, man. So we're all good. Hey, very good. I'll go to the cricket club today in Philadelphia. By the way, a little rain shouldn't dampen the spirits of what's going on. Barkley's the team captain. Who you kidding there, man? Hey, by the way, can I ask somebody this? So before we get going here, please hit the like button, guys. So Cooper DeJean and Reed Blankenship are going to start a podcast called The Excited White Dudes. Hey, wait a minute now. Sills acts like he's a member of Bushwood Country Club. Yeah, that's me. I look like I'm a member of the country club. So wait a minute. The Excited White Dudes. How do you guys feel about that? The Excited White Dudes. Hey, can I name my show that? The Excited White Dude. Okay, I mean, man, boy, people could say a lot of shit today, can't they? Man, not me. I couldn't do that. Hey, Excited White Dudes. You got me there, man. I mean, I don't know. I'm going to watch it for sure. Reed Blankenship and Cooper DeJean. The Excited White Dudes. Man, how about that name? What do you make of that for a podcast? The Excited White Guy. Now, wait a minute. Does that mean only white football players can come on? Okay. That's pretty true. You ain't white, I'm Italian. That's damn true. How you doing? Look at this here, man. Look at LJ. Canadian guy even going stereotype on me. Sileo, you ain't white, you're Italian. Nice job there, LJ. No wonder we shut the border off. Canada. Like, what is one thing Canada? No, wait, I'll tell you what. The NHL playoffs have been pretty good. Okay, the NHL playoffs have been pretty dope. So they are delivering. And by the way, hey, LJ, just so you know, I'm pulling for Toronto. You know, the Maple Leafs haven't won a championship since 1967. Okay, I'm so not pulling for the Florida Panthers. Okay, so I am rooting for the Toronto Maple Leafs. By the way, Max Domi, how you doing? Stills, it's an Oreo cookie. I'm good with that. I had a bag of Oreos the other day. Okay, uh-oh. If it's that means he's probably a Vancouver guy. He's a Canuck. Either no, or he could be an Ottawa Senator. He could be an Ottawa Senator. That's right, Bet. The schools. Yeah, they sent the schools, like, it's really cool what they did back in the day for Pope John Paul II. Calgary, got you, brother. Yeah, we were altar boys at Yankee Stadium for John Paul II. Then we had to go down and feed the poor down in the Bowery. It was pretty cool, man. Honestly, it was one of the greatest things I've ever done as a kid. I had just gotten to Catholic High. So it was really cool. They took a bunch of us, like 35 of us, and then I think from John Bosco. Does that sound right? Anybody in the New York area? John Bosco? Since I got a better name for the G and John podcasts. Hey, no, I like the all. How about this? The all whites. White guys. Hey, white guy. Instead of saying white guys can't jump, just say white guys can play DB. What do you make of that? White guys can play DB. Starring Cooper DeJean and Reed Blankenship. How's that for you? What do you think? Good? No? We're good? I'm in. Hey, it's all in the name. Big Sills. How you doing? All right? Yeah. Oh, boy, do we have one for you today. By the way, Mark Farzetta is going to join us at 3:30. He's back. Dallas Goedert. How you doing? Hey, Dallas, take a pay cut. I'm going to ask you a question about that. Clancy Bolan is going to be with us, our crime fighter and sports guru from Morgan & Morgan will be with us at 4:30. Xander's going to join us at the top of the 5 o'clock hour. So let me ask you. Let me pick somebody out of here. Let me go Abe. Call him half and half, Sills. How you doing? Abe, I got a question for you. If your employer came to you and you had a job that potentially you could injure yourself, you had to go up on a ladder, you had to go up on wires, you had to go on a roof, you were a roofer, you were anybody like that, and your boss came to you and asked you, hey, listen, we're going to take a pay cut, and then after the year, we're going to find an employee to replace you. How engaged would you be in doing your job? How engaged would you be, Abe? Now, follow me again. Your boss comes to you, and you've been one of the best employees. He comes to you and says, hey, we need you to take a pay cut. Wait, everyone else got extensions and pay raises. Why am I taking a pay cut? I thought success meant we all profit from that. How come I'm not, as a player, Dallas Goedert, how come I'm not benefiting in the success of the team? How come I'm not benefiting from the success? So, Abe, how would you feel about maybe playing or working through a sickness? Or like Barkley did his last year in New York when New York didn't give him a contract, and he shut it down himself the last 3 weeks of the season so he wouldn't get hurt. How would you feel, Abe, if your employer had a company that was in a place where they had just had the best year in the history of the company? Other employees were benefiting. And they come to you and say, hey, we want you to take a pay cut during one of the most successful runs in Philadelphia Eagle history. How would you feel about playing through a sickness? An injury. Gabe says, I would feel disappointed and disrespected. Okay? Don't let Sil spin it. Dallas took a $4 million pay cut to stay 1 year with Michael Jordan of football. Who's that? He's not even the most important Eagle in the last 3 years. Let me ask you something here. So wait a minute. Spin what? So JD3 would be okay with a company that he worked for that celebrated one of the greatest windfall years in business history of the company. Numerous people got pay raises, but he's like, hey, I'm okay taking a $4 million pay cut and being told that I'm going to move on after you. And he's good with that. Well, I don't know. That guy's a bullshit artist. Says, I'm making business decisions. Looking out for myself. That's right. Kyle, you know why? The Eagles are looking out in business decisions, aren't they not? Why wouldn't I? Why wouldn't I make a business decision? The Eagles did. I have every right to act like them if I'm Dallas Goedert. How don't I? This guy's full of shit right here. If I miss, he didn't miss, this is a lie. He didn't miss 45% of his games. That's a fucking lie. Okay? That's a lie. Seals, Goedert had no choice, to be honest. No one called on trading for Goedert. He only did this to himself. What did he do to himself? He performed in the playoffs for you. He's one of the top 5 tight ends in the league. What did he do that was so wrong? But basically, I heard also that Howie Roseman was going around talking to agents like Drew Rosenhaus, saying that the only reason we're moving off the players because he's injured 20% of the time. Jesus Christ, you're talking shit on the guy so you lower his market value and his market opportunity. Nice job. Hey, Howie did the right thing for the owner. He wasn't looking out for the player. Don't ever let that guy bullshit you and tell you. Drew Rosenhaus told me himself that when teams were calling about Goedert, like the Chargers, the biggest question asked was, hey, how come you got him and let his agent seek a trade? Well, we don't feel the player's healthy. That's out of Howie Roseman's mouth. Hey, remember, he works for Jeffrey Lurie, not for Dallas Goedert. He's not Dallas Goedert's friend. General managers are looking to downsize like they did this year at any opportunity they can. Yeah, you know who lowered the market? The best GM in football. Dallas Goedert didn't have a market because Howie Roseman, by allowing the agent to seek permission for a trade, that lowered the market on Dallas Goedert even before the phone calls came. What kind of relationship do you think that's going to be this year between Goedert and the Eagles? I would definitely say that probably, hey, look, I've got to look at it like this. Fuck the Eagles. So I've got to go out and play and show that I'm worthy. Goedert's not looking for a giant annual paycheck. You know what he's looking for? One last guaranteed bag of money. Whatever that looks like. And the Eagles didn't even offer it to him. They didn't want to offer it, and they're not ever going to offer it to him. It's a shitty way and a disrespectful way of treating the kid. However, Howie took a dump on him, like we said yesterday, and the Eagles won. Like again, they never offered Josh Sweat and Milton Williams. Milton Williams, I heard there were some deals on the table. He said, absolutely not. He knew what his market value was. Milton Williams, right now, the dude's on the gravy train. He's got his ring. He don't ever have to do that shit again. Now he can run around. Hey, well, Sills, he's probably going to really suck in New England. Yeah, to the tune of $125 or $150 million. All right, great. All right, I suck for $125 million. Sure. No problem. Well, you're going to a bad situation. No, I'm not. Every Tuesday it says it's not a bad situation. Okay? That's a great take. That's a great take. That is absolutely true. Little intelligent man, that's a great take. Dan Sileo, the Eagles are running the franchise like the Patriots. Patriots never paid like that either. Got to respect them. Okay. Hey, fans are going to respect the team more than they're going to respect the players. You know what? You understand that, right? Hey, little intelligent man. As soon as Josh Sweat and Milton Williams and C.J. Gardner were no longer Eagles, they suck. They were overrated. They can be replaced. Fans always side on the side of ownership in the team. Never on the player side. Wentz stinks. He's the worst player in the history of Jesus. Yeah, you don't back these players because as soon as they're no longer on your team, you take a shit on them. You take a shit on them. And by the way, the fans know this is Dallas Goedert's final season. How do you think you're going to treat him? Just asking. Have I said anything? Anything? That's wrong. Spin season? Get this. Let's take a look here on Sue, what I said that was spin. I asked you a question. You just had one of the here. Let's do it in chronological order. Did you not? Wait a minute, folks. Yes or no? Did you not have one of the greatest years in the history of the Philadelphia Eagles? Yes or no? I'll leave all the answers up to you. Did you not have one of the greatest years in Eagle history? Yes or no? Yep. Okay. So, when a company has a great year, are there not bonuses? If you have great return for your company and your company has a windfall and you succeed, Barkley got a raise. Landing got a raise. Bond got a raise. Greatest year, maybe, in the history of the Eagles. Oh, and by the way, for the record, Milton Williams got a raise. Josh Sweat got a raise. Gardner Johnson's now in a new situation making $11.2 million. See who else? Isaiah Rodgers got a raise. Who else? Brett Johnson got a raise. Dallas Goedert got demoted in salary. Am I wrong? Slade got a raise at $11 million. Everyone got a raise but Goedert. So, okay. Why? Okay, so Goedert, the Eagles had a great year. I'm going to tell you in a second why it fucking matters. Eagles had the greatest year in company history. Everyone on the team got a raise except Dallas Goedert. Okay? You then turn around and you talk shit to other GMs on the player to lower the market and shrink the market. Howie being Howie. It's how he sees it, remember? Well, are you under the impression that they didn't want that player at their price and at what they wanted? They weren't playing fair ball. Who in your right mind thinks that a general manager in negotiations plays fair football? How many people in their right mind think anybody in business plays fair game? Act like you're not as dumb as some of you are commenting, because I know you're smarter than that. And you're just fighting something that's not true. So, everyone on your football team got a raise but Goedert. So, everything I've just said is not spin. Eagles had the best year in company history. Every single player that is either on the team or was up for money got a raise. Goedert's the only guy that got a pay cut. That's not spin. Number 4. If you're Dallas Goedert, why would I play hard? Because I want to audition for other teams? Okay. Well, remember, Barkley shut it down the final 3 games of the year, his final year in New York, because he knew New York wasn't going to give him a contract. He made a business decision. It's okay for Barkley to make a business decision in New York. Why wouldn't it be okay for Dallas Goedert to make a business decision? 3 games remaining in the season. Barkley shut it down. Played 14 games that year. He missed 3 because he knew the New York Giants earlier in the beginning of the offseason told him they were not going to give him a new deal. Shoot, I didn't even notice Dallas missed 7 games. We went 6-1. Grant Calcaterra. Okay. Grant Calcaterra sucks. Wait a second. Sills is the guy to get a pay cut, go bitch about it, and not play hard. That's not what I said. Why do I feel entitled? I could understand if you lost the Super Bowl. At the end of the look at this. Check this out. Calcaterra now is the new golden child of Eagle fans, and Dallas Goedert is now a pariah. Once again, you turds take the side of management always over the players, and you always will. They screwed Reddick too. They gave Reddick's contract to Bryce Huff. Get this. Spin what? Nothing I said is spin. It's fact. You had one of the greatest years in Eagle history. Every single player that was up for money got a raise but one dude. Howie's talking shit to shrink the market for Dallas Goedert on his injuries. When I ask you, what's the incentive for Goedert to play hard? Barkley didn't. What have I said that's a lie? What have I said that's a lie? What have I said's a lie? I'm not spending nothing. I'm asking questions. Sills can't pay them all. Okay. What's my incentive not to have a business incentive, a business decision this year then? Like, if the Eagles are 10-6, God forbid, they're 10-6, they're going into the final week. They're going to be a wild card team, and there's been injuries throughout the whole thing. Why would I play the final game? What would be the point of playing when I'm going to be a free agent at the end of the year? Why would I play? To get hurt and lose a potential guaranteed signing bonus? Why would I? Why in the world would you? I'm going to play for the team because that's the team. You guys are high school. You guys are like Nicky High School. Oh, you play for the team. This is professional football. Paychecks come with it. There's no incentive in the world to play hard. None. I'm not suggesting Howie didn't do the right thing. He undermined the player, shrunk his market, gave him a pay cut in light of the best year in the company's history. That's some fucking way to do business with a guy who you tell people you like. My God almighty. They remind me of that one, Xander. So let me get this right. Hey, Sills, we love you so much, man. I'll tell you what, but we want you to take a 38% pay cut. They're talking out of both sides of their mouth. And by the way, they would never do that. They never have done that. The Eagles did it. And you guys are the one. I get this. I've not had this before. You're spinning it. 6-1. Calcaterra. Look at you spinning it. I'm just talking facts here. That's pretty crazy. I mean, think about that. You're the one spinning it today. I know this. Drew Rosenhaus said that the Los Angeles Chargers called because Chargers were thinking of doing tight ends in the draft or in free agency. And you know what the word going around was? Howie was doing this. Yeah, we gave permission to Dallas Goedert and his people so he could seek a trade. When asked the question why, he goes, we got problems with the injuries. Oh. Okay. Half the league shut off right there. Instead of just saying, hey, look, man, we got financial issues we have to deal with. No way. They put it on the player. How you doing? And by the way, I love people who put that shit out there. Sills talks to no one. We talk to everyone. Yeah. If you showed up to 50, this is, hey, thank you very much for the super chat. Dude, thank you, JD3, for the super chat. I'm not reading that bullshit, but hey, thank you so much for your support. It means a lot. That's just a dumb thing, and I can't have that come out of my mouth like that because it's just stupid. This guy says that he misses half his games. This guy's a fucking idiot. Thank you for the super, though. Appreciate it. Hey, you got to love it. Hey, man. Greatest year in the history of the Philadelphia Eagles. Your boss comes to you and tells you, hey, I know that everyone got a raise. See what Milton made and Josh and shit. Isaiah. Fred. Not you. No, not you, Dallas. We're going to have you take a 25% pay cut. Man, sounds like you really know what you're doing there. I'm not saying, hey, by the way, let me go on Howie's side. How can I get the player back the way I want it and how I want it? Talk shit on him because my reputation right now precedes me. I am the Super Bowl champion general manager, and everyone is singing my praises. So every time I say something, it has a little more value than, say, the general manager of the Jets. So when I say something about an issue with the player, most teams are probably going to take that verbatim, that there's a problem with Dallas Goedert, which is going to lessen his market. Of course it is. So we got the guy with a lesser market, and he had him at a $4.5 million pay cut at a 20% discount, and he got the player he wanted in the draft anyway for 1 year, Dallas Goedert. Perfectly stroked and done right. It's actually a masterclass on how to fuck a player over. It's an absolute masterclass. And he's not subject to not doing it like the rest of them. All the general managers do that. That's not anything new. Congratulations, Howie. That's how you screw a player over. I mean, you get the guy you want at the price you want. You pollute the market on the kid. And then you tell him, hey, we like you. Everybody gets a raise but you. How you doing? Only in Philly. And then what you have is fans in here spinning it. Calcaterra season. He misses a bunch of games. It starts the stuff right now. Milton Williams is overrated. Josh Sweat's overrated. Gardner Johnson was Xander saying, not really as important as people think. Isaiah Rodgers. They'll get it with Keeley. He's not that big a deal. Oren Burks those guys are all bums. And now Dallas Goedert's a bum. Oh, I'd say it too. Thank you, Howie. You know how to screw over a player. That's well done. That's professional. That is the best work I've seen Howie do. Outside of the Devontae contract, that right there is one of the best jobs I've ever seen on hosing a player over. Can't get around it. That was fantastic. Goat Howie, absolutely. That's how you screw a player over. And then you expect him to go out and play hard and run through a fire for you. I mean, it's an awful take because you don't want to hear the truth. Spin alert. Once again, ain't no spin. How would you feel if somebody came to you when your company had the best year in its history and everyone got a raise but you? He says that's spin. I call that facts. May 20th and 21st, I think that's happening. Mad spin? On what? What didn't you like, Joe? What's the spin? It's not an opinion. Wait a minute. What's the opinion? Everyone got a raise. You had the best year, and the only guy on the Eagle team that took a pay cut was Goedert. Who else took a pay cut? I must have missed it. What's the spin? What's the spin? Tell me what the spin is. How you screwed Goedert? So look at here. We'll do this one more time here. The Eagles had the greatest year in franchise history. Yes or no? We'll do it one last time for Brandon here. Did the Eagles have the best year in franchise history? Yes or no? Yes or no? That's not a fact? that the Eagles didn't have the best year in history? Did the Eagles have the best year in company history this past season? Yes or no? Okay. Did everybody whose money was up, did they get a raise? Shit, Slay got more money in Chicago or in Pittsburgh. Isaiah got more money. Fred got more money. Josh got more money. Milton got more money. Vaughn got more money. Barkley got a raise. Cam Jurgens got a raise. Who's the only guy that took a pay cut? Dallas Goedert. Is that spin? How's that spin? What are you talking about? Old news. Thank you for the 10 months. Look at this, guys. Sills, in your opinion, who was the worst free agent the Eagles signed? I don't know. All of them? Hey, by the way, you know all those guys that had 10 sack seasons like Uche and Ojalara? How do you know Huff's not that guy? 3 years from now, are you going to be looking back calling him Uche Joshua Uchalawa? Congratulations. Hey, Howie. That's how you hose a player over. Very professionally done. Well negotiated on how to screw a player over. Man, you can't get any better than that. Professional hose job. All right. Man. Okay. By the way, so I love watching Birds 365. I tried to watch that thing on 97.5, and seriously, it's not watchable. The Mike Menstrual show is not very good. And I got to tell you, I mean, I tried to watch it with Bill Cunnilingus and with Mike Menstrual, and I don't know. I was trying to watch it, and I just couldn't. So I love watching. Love it. I love watching Birds 365. Okay? But I'm going to ask Xander Kraus later on this question, and I'm going to ask you guys right now again. Where are you playing Jahad Campbell again? I heard John McMullen talking, and so I had to put it on paper. I wrote down nickel, dime defense, a base 34, and a two-high safety defense. And I'm going to be interested. He says, well, if you're looking at the player in a position, what was the thing he called? What, the Joker? Somebody still has to come off the field. If you're creating, you can't have a 12th guy. So my question is, here's the nickel lineup. Let's just do this. There's the nickel lineup. In John's eyes, in nickel, Moro Ajomo's going to come out. And Dean is staying in. So Moro Ajomo would be the guy who comes out. So you're going to play him at end. Is that right? Cooper DeJean's the nickel. Moro Ajomo's the end. Jordan Davis the nose. Carter's the tackle. Nolan Smith's the end. I put Keely Ringo at the right corner. The Will is Bond. The Mike is Dean. Hughes the corner. Reed's the free. And I put Sidney back there as the strong. So you're telling me, in that front, Moro Ajomo comes off. Is that right? So you're taking Moro Ajomo and not Nakobe Dean off the guy's natural position. So I'm just going to circle that. So in nickel, the box represents that's where you're going to play Campbell in nickel, correct? Guys, Fangio will set the defense. No shit. No shit. But these are his defenses. I looked them up. So Moro Ajomo comes out. All right. So here's dime. Here's the dime front. Carter, DT. Carter is the left. Davis is the right. Nolan Smith's the right end. Ajomo is the left end. Cooper's in the nickel. Bonds in the mic. Nakobe is in, I guess that he comes off the field in dime. Because you're going to put Makuba in. Then you're going to have Ringo, Q. And then you're going to have Dean and Reed. So Nakobe comes off in dime. Yeah. Nakobe's coming off in dime. So again, were you playing in dime Jahad Campbell? That's the defense. Where are you playing him? So you're replacing Ajomo again. Right? Very simple. There's the dime. So with Jomo again. Okay. Here's Vic's 2-eye safety. Yeah, here we go. Here's his 2-eye safety. There's 2-eye safety. Ajomo end. Carter and Davis tackle. Smith end. You've got Keely Ringo corner. You've got Q at the other one. The nickel's Cooper. The Mike is Dean. The Will is Bond. And they're your 2-eye safeties. Where is Jahad Campbell playing? Ajomo. I'm just asking. Again, what's spin, dickhead? Just answer the fucking question. Where's he playing? John says Dean's not coming off the field. So did you draft Jahad Campbell to replace Moro Ajomo? Where's he playing? Okay, where do you think Vic's going to play him? In this 2-high safety, which he plays 70% of the time. No, because what you're doing here is, what confuses people is conversation. When you show people like you do in a playbook, it's a little different because then you're asking a simple question. In his 2-eye safety, who's coming out? Who do you think Vic's going to take out? How about this? I'll ask you a question. Act like you have some brains. Who do you believe Vic Fangio in his 2-eye safety defense he's taking out? I'll take anything. Who's he taking out? Why is Moro Ajomo on end? Where are you going to play him? Carter Davis' spot? I don't know. I don't know. According to John, Dean's not coming out. Well, if Dean's not coming out, where's he playing? And according to John McMullen, John's telling me, well, if you're looking at the player and you're putting him in a box, okay, well, there's only really 4 ways that Vic Fangio puts guys on a field. They're nickel, they're dime, base 34, and 2 high safety. There's no other scheme. I want to know where you guys think he's playing, because I sure don't know. Where is this guy playing? Looks to me they're playing him at end, right? And Moro Ajomo's out. Well, if Moro Ajomo's out, I thought he was the heir apparent to Milton Williams. I'm confused. Can you guys spin this for me? Can you guys please spin this for me? Your 31st pick in the NFL draft, where's he playing? Oh, I'm not saying he can't make plays. Where are you lining him up when they, hey, Twiz, when they say snap and the quarterback snaps the ball, where's he playing? Okay, so you're going to play him on the edge. You're taking Nolan Smith out? Linebacker. John says the linebackers aren't coming off the field. Can't be the linebackers. I don't really know. I'm just kind of confused. Where are you? Here, look. Let's go. We'll go to Nick. By the way, I took this out of Vic Fangio's playbook. I got this from Clint Hurt today. There's 4 real basic fronts they play. Here, let's do this. The nickel. Okay, so if the linebackers aren't coming out, where's he playing? You're putting him, you're not putting him in the interior. You're not taking Nolan Smith out. Whoa, wait a minute. No way. John said Dean's not coming out. So it's a Jomo. Since you're so smart, how about you tell big guy? Guys, this is called sports talk. I'm asking you where you think your defensive coordinator is going to put the 31st player in the draft. And if we're not going to give him a position, I don't give a shit if you guys want to line him up at safety. Where are you putting him in when the ball and the quarterback snap the frickin' ball? Where's he lined up? And if you say Joker, okay, well, what does that entail? Who are you taking off the field? Is that in? And by the way, just so you know, it's called a dog in a base 34. So there's your base 34. You got 2 ends. That cat is going to be Nolan. Ajomo's the other end. Your nose tackles at the nose is Carter. Your DE is Carter. The nose guard is Davis. Your corners are playing there. Hugh and Keeley. Your will linebackers, Nakobe. Your dog is Cooper. You're going to take Cooper DeJean off? I'm curious. Again, where are you playing him? You got to find a spot for him. Oh, I already know. I know where they're playing him. I know where they're playing him. I want to see if you do. Where do you think they're going to play Jahad Campbell? Feels this year's post-injury 34 base. He's strong side OLB. A nickel, he's 4.25. Campbell is a linebacker next to Bond. He'll work into the edge rusher, allowing for his versatility. So, Bob, you agree with me. Nakobe Dean's off the field. And if anything, what you're going to do with Jahad Campbell is this. He's going to line up on first and second down inside. And on third down, they're going to put him at end for Moro Jomo. Would you agree? That's how they're playing this guy. Nakobe's out first and second down. He ain't in there. Right? Hey, by the way, like I said, I mean, I'm just asking, okay, and when we get Xander on at 5, where are you playing him? I'm not. These are the fronts. Watch, folks. Here's nickel. Oh, here's nickel. Excuse me. Here's too high. Here's dime. And there's base. There's only 4 fronts. Where are you playing them? Well, if you don't want to, according to John, if you don't want to take Nakobe out, he's taking the spot of Moro Jomo. Now, is that for all 3 downs? Or is he a specialized player? Again. Hey, no, I don't need Johnny Mac to sit here and tell me that. All I got to do is listen. You guys, the beauty of 2 shows is this. John's talks in the morning, I talk in the afternoon, and that's why you guys come back and forth here. That's the difference. He and I see a lot of things different. Okay? Like I said, right? I'm afraid of people. I've been doing this for 40 years. Yeah, I'm sure I am. Yeah, that's me. Yeah, that's me. Yeah. So we playing them. Dude, don't make sense. How about this? Wait, guys. Here. Just answer the question. Were you playing him in nickel? God, Campbell. Just see if you guys will answer the question. See if you guys are older than 4 years old. Were you playing him in nickel? The top one. Were you playing him? I'll write it down here, remember. Where are you playing? Hey, Prince, then sit it out. Sills. Now, if Dean comes back from his injury and makes it possible for Howie to move off, that spells the end of Nolan next season. Now you're starting to go places, Bob. Do you not agree, Bob? At the end of this year, either Nakobe Dean are going to move off of Nolan Smith because they got to put a spot and put Jahad Campbell somewhere, right? Do you agree that this year Nolan Smith and Nakobe Dean, if one proves that they're more needed in Vic's scheme, the lesser guy's gone. I just wanted to get it correct. Yeah. Yeah, like I said, hey, I left it up to you. Nickel? Dime? And Vic's famous too high. There's only 11 spots on the field. You can't add somebody. This is not Canadian football. Someone has to come off the field. And if you don't want to put him in a box, okay. I gave you the option of 4 different fronts that Vic uses. And I wanted to draw it out so you could see it instead of hear it. Plotting the seeds. What do you mean plotting the seeds? What, that kid's going to suck? I don't believe he's going to suck. I don't. I think that kid's a good football player. I got talked out of that kid 3 months ago, and I don't know why I did that. I should have stuck to my guns. I kept going like this, my exact words. How is this guy not a Vic Fangio player? They'll never draft a linebacker. And I believed it, and I did believe that. Okay? Woo! Man. Like I said, the one thing that Big Sales does here, I'm going to have to take this one out. I love how you guys spun the Goedert thing today. Boy, I'll tell you what. You know what was great today? I've never seen you guys spin more topics. Usually that's me. But you guys were professional spin artists. I thought you were going to spin me a blanket today. It was incredible. I mean, one of the greatest spin yard jobs of all time, how you spun that Goedert. All the people on the team got a demotion in his pay. Everyone got a raise. Company had the greatest year in the history of the team. And everyone's like, hey, Howie season. No shit. Good job, man. Dallas Goedert's the only guy that had to take a pay raise in the greatest year of the company's profits. That's pretty good. And you guys spun it. Well, he's hurt all the time. That's just the beginning. He sucks. Don't worry. By next year, Dallas Goedert will be the enemy. Oh, shit. By the end of the year, Dallas Goedert will be the enemy. Okay. Woo, baby, man. I can't believe that one there. And look, and here's what I did. Here's how you guys spun this one. Where's he going to line up in nickel? Sileo, you think you know what you're doing? No, I'm just asking you. There's only 11 positions. It's not that hard to answer. And John says the backers aren't coming out. Moro Jomo. So I'm not even disputing that. So he comes out on nickel on a net package on nickel. So he takes over for Moro Jomo. So he's not playing first and second down. All right. Or if he's in base down here, is he not going to be in base? So you drafted a guy in the first round at 31 not to be a 3-down guy? Or are you going to move him to a backer, then on third down, move him to end? That's fine. I just want to know what you're doing. Get this. Hey, Prince, okay. Let's go with what John says. John says Dean's not being affected. So, by the way, I'm not disputing it. So that means, according to John McMullen, and nickel, he comes in for Moro Jomo. I heard them say in dime he's not coming out. So he's got to for Moro, Jomo, and dime. Okay? Dean and Bond are going to play in there. Okay. He's not playing base. Or are you playing and starting him first and second down at defensive end? I'm confused. Is it on base, 34? By the way, I'm not giving the guy a position either. I've got 4 different defensive fronts. And then in too high, looks to me like Moro Jomo, and that they want him to play end and not linebacker. Same can be said for Jacoby. Both are similar football players, but how valuable are they to the being on IR? No, absolutely true. He's the Joker, baby. Why so serious? Okay, so Joker, I'm assuming you mean dog. So here's the base 34. Your end out here is Moro Jomo. Your cat out here is Jahad Campbell. Okay. Your end is Carter. And your nose is Davis. Your dog, I thought the dog was Cooper. Where's he playing? In base. Or does he play in base? This guy right here is Cooper. You're going to take Cooper DeJean out? Seals, how soon will Dean be back? I don't know. I've heard that he had a pretty good injury. He may be middle of camp from what I'm hearing. Sills, ideally, if I'm Vic's shoes and I'm in Vic's shoes, I want to see if Nolan can move to middle linebacker. Why, man? You're good. Why not use his 4.4 speed? I want to use his 4.4 speed on the edges. I want to get, bro, I'm not doing anything to Nolan inside. He is not an inside football player. He is an outside football player. I want him out in space. He was really good out in space, and I thought for a guy that's not the biggest dude, the way he set the edge, I thought he was really good. Okay? I thought he was really good. He's quick. I don't want to put him inside. Thank you, Prince. Hit that like button, guys. Okay? I mean, wow, you guys spun 2 topics really well today. Congratulations to you. Probably your greatest spin job in Big Sil's history. In 4 years, that was one of the best spin jobs by Eagle fans. Goedert sucks. He's lucky to be here. Take your money and shut the hell up. Jahad Campbell's going to be your new defensive end. I got it. Okay. Dean's not coming off. He's going to play for Moro Jomo. And Goedert sucks. I love it. All right. Here's another one for you. By the way, bottom of the hour, Mark Farzetta will join us. We will have Clancy Bolan with us, our crime fighter from Morgan & Morgan right here in Philadelphia. Big sports fan. We will talk with him. And then we will have Xander at the top of the 5 o'clock hour. How you doing? All right. So we got another one here for you. Let's see here. Oh, yeah. Here we go. Is there room for Bryce Huff this year? Do you guys have room for Bryce Huff? Here. Let's see here. There you go. So you got Nolan Smith. You got Jalix Hunt. You've got Jahad Campbell, when healthy. Azeez Ojulari. And Joshua Uche. Where's Bryce Huff fit in this? Where's he fit? Where's Bryce Huff fit in that? Let's just take the top 3 guys. Are you taking reps away from Nolan Smith, Jalix Hunt, and Jahad Campbell. And let's say the kid still can't play first and second down. As far as I'm concerned, Bryce Huff is Azeez Ojulari and Joshua Uche. They're the same guy. By the way, for the record, didn't both those players you signed have 10 sacks 1 year in their career? What separates those two guys from Bryce Huff? $51 million. They're the same guy. They're no different. 3 years from now, you'll be saying the same shit about Bryce Huff that you said about Azeez Ojulari. They're the same guy. He's no better than him. And the only difference is the money. If I'm not mistaken, Ojulari and Uche had 10 sack seasons. What makes Bryce Huff a better player? Where did you see he's a better player than those other two guys? Big difference? How? One guy was benched for the Super Bowl. Healthy bench. Vic didn't even want him in the locker room. I agree. I agree. Ojulari is a better player. I completely agree with that. One thing Bryce Huff has shown me, again, it's not the skill set of the player. It's the ability to play the run. He can't. And the Jets knew that. He didn't play the run in New York. Why would he play the run in Philly? Well, because you willed it? Or you projected it? That's correct, Bob. It's only timing. So the difference is timing. Huff hit the market at the right time. Ojulari missed the window. That is 1,000% the difference between the two players. They're the same guy. And whatever you see with Azeez Ojulari, I think he's better. I think he's a better ball player. I've seen more out of him than I have with Bryce Huff. So there's no room for this guy. If I'm Vic Fangio and I'm trying to find edge rushers, my edge rushers are Nolan Smith, Jalix Hunt, Jahad Campbell, and Azeez Ojulari. And the only way that Bryce Huff has room is the first month of the season. Because if Campbell can't play, Huff's career in Philadelphia will be on the line the first half of the season. And if he can't, I guarantee you by week 4, that guy is an inactive bench. And they will not have that. They will treat him like James Bradbury by week 4 of this year. And don't think they won't. They said, get this injury shit is bullshit. Let me tell you why. Hassan Reddick had a cast on his hand for the first 4 weeks, his final season in Philly. Does anybody know how many sacks that guy had still that year in a down year? Does anybody remember? How many sacks did Hassan Reddick have when he had a cast on his hand for a month? Does anybody remember? I thought it was 11 and a half. Okay. I mean, you guys said Hassan Reddick that year stunk. Hassan Reddick's worst year is better than any season you gave $51 million to. Where's the room for him? Who are you taking reps from? To try to make a contract fit? Wait a minute. I thought you guys were trying to make football players fit and not contracts fit. I'm not playing that guy. The only way I'm playing Bryce Huff this year is guess how? If Campbell can't play, I'm going to give him every opportunity without endangering the development of Jalix Hunt, Nolan Smith, and to try to resurrect Azeez Ojulari. Who knows, that Uche kid may play well. It's not trusting Vic. But I trust him too. Because he won't play a guy because of money. He did it a year ago. Bradbury sat on his ass. They benched Devin White. And Bryce Huff was deactivated. I totally trust him. Money will not rule who plays in Philadelphia on defense. That's not happening. Nor draft picks. And where you were drafted in the draft, whether you're a second or seventh rounder, that guy's playing the best football player possible. My problem, again, comes back with, hang on here. So Bryce Huff's going to get an opportunity this year. Over whose reps? I'm not taking Jalix Hunt's reps away. I think there's something to that kid. Okay? Nolan came on. Hey, by the way, you know what Nolan Smith is to me? Nolan Smith is, to me, I saw enough of him at the end of the year that I wanted to definitely move forward with him and finding out what he is. I still don't know yet. He went from a turd burger to a guy where I went, hey, you know what? Inside of Vic's system and scheme, there's something there. And I want to see what that could be. Vic doesn't know yet. Can he play 17 straight? Can he play 700 reps? That's a lot of football. Okay? Once again, it's not the fact that he's a dog. Dallas Goedert's a dog. You're moving off the tight end because he's injured. Remember, Dank? Dallas Goedert's a dog. What's that got to do with the player? Nothing. Dallas Goedert's a dog. Can't stay healthy. And you can't play healthy. Then, I mean, what's the point? Nolan will play hurt. Like I said, the topic was, who are you taking the reps from? You said you don't know what he is. No, I don't. 7 games don't make a career. Ask here. Let me show you why. See this take here? What is it? You said you don't know what he is. I'm going to show you guys something on why Dank doesn't get it, nor do many of you. Let's see here. Let's go here with this. Azeez Ojulari stats. I think he's a good football player. Now, this is consistent. 8.5, 2.5, not good, 6. In 4 years, he's got 22.5 sacks. That's not awful being in a specialty role. Let's take a look at this. And go over here with this one. Joshua Uche. Uche. And his wonderful stats. Okay. Remember, I'm telling you this. What we're doing here. Josh Uche. So here, let's do this. Joshua Uche, 1 sack, 3 sacks, 11 and a half. What a ball player. Unbelievable. Insane. 9 tackles for loss. Unbelievable. After that, 3, 2, 2, none. What happened to him? What happened to him? What happened to the guy? Let's take a look at Bryce Huff. Bryce Huff. Let's take a look at this guy. 2, 2, 3, 10, 2. What happened to him? How is he any different than Joshua Uche? Bryce Huff is Joshua Uche. No different. Only difference is that Uche played for Belichick. It was a 3-down lineman. Huff has never been. How do you know that Nolan Smith is not going to have 2, 3, 2? How do you know that? I don't. And I'm not saying he's going to. I want to see what the player's going to do here. Being a full-time starter. There's a difference from going from being a guy who wasn't a full-time starter to being a full-time starter. It doesn't mean, because you saw 7 sacks, that guy's going to translate into being a 3-down guy. Injuries, health, size, scheme, talent, all play a factor. That's what I'm saying. Keeping it real. How you guys spending that one? So Bryce Huff, a $51 million toyed. Man, this is a lot of fun today. I'm having a fun day, man. Yes, sir. New Pope. A lot of love. And it's instead of me, it's you spinning. Goedert sucks. He's no good. Everyone got a pay raise. Greatest year in the history of the organization and in the company. Hey, you over there. You're going to take a pay raise. No one else did, but you are. Were you playing John Campbell? I don't know. But we'll find a spot. Okay, well, where is that spot? I don't want to answer that now. All right. Oh, Bryce Huff. Who you taking reps from? I don't know. Don't worry. We'll find it. Howie season. All right. I'm like, hey, man, congratulations. You guys are killing it today. Keep it up great. You should hit the like button because today's a day of you. How many teams in NFL history have had back-to-back number 1 defenses? Great question, Dirty D. Maybe those Steeler teams back in the day? I don't know, man. That's a great question. Look at Kyle. Kyle, wait a minute. Are you setting them up? Come on, Kyle. Are you setting them up? Well, Kyle, I'll tell you something. It's interesting you should say that. Okay? Because, 1 year they were 2nd. The next year they were 28th. Okay? I mean, so I don't know. The Ravens, really? Seals me personally, to be good, we need to be consistent. Nolan Smith have 4 good games. Listen, Kyle, I'm going forward with him. I want to see what he is. To be good, you need to be consistent. Nolan Smith, again, seeing him do it over a 4-game, and then you start to see him continue to get better and better each year. That's how I look at a guy, too. These guys look at a guy 1 season, he's the greatest thing in the history of Moses and such. You know what I mean? Sills, what defense do you think was better, 2000 Ravens or Legion of Boom or the Eagles 25 defense? Ask yourself this, Joker. What was tougher to build? 2000 Ravens, it's getting it right in the draft. The Legion of Boom, I really like that Seattle team because why? Can you name me a first rounder that played in the secondary on the Legion of Boom? Cam Chancellor, I think, was a fourth rounder. I think Richard Sherman was a second rounder. I can't remember. I don't think that secondary had any first rounders on it. Was Earl Thomas a first rounder? Okay, Earl Thomas was a first rounder. Okay, so a lot of those were late picks. Thomas, okay, guys, thank you. Yeah, Earl Thomas. I know Michael Bennett was a free agent. Right? Earl Thomas was a fifth rounder? No, was he? He was a first rounder, or was he a fifth? He was a great football player. Okay, he was. He was the first. Okay, thanks, Steve. Yeah, when you look at that defense was made with a lot of guys that were late round picks. Sherman was a fifth. That's right. Sherman was the fifth. Thomas was the first rounder that was on that. I don't think there were a lot of first rounders on that. Thomas first, Sherman fifth, Chancellor fifth. Yeah, that's right. Thank you, Flexen. This last year is the most incredible defense I've ever seen built. That was probably my biggest ass with it being ripped apart. I've never seen anybody just find guys. You found something special, all that versatility you had, and you just shattered it. And to start all over again. And then when you say core, listen, core, it's about a group. And just because you have, hey, here's the core of the defense in Dallas is Michael Parsons. The core of the defense in Cleveland, who was number 1 2 years ago, is Myles Garrett. I mean, the core, dude, this is a group effort. This is a group effort. And you got a bunch of new faces in the building. No, I don't suggest that. You got better coaching on defense. I'll say this to you. The Philadelphia Eagles have as good a defensive coaching staff as they had in 91. This is the best coaching staff you've had since 1991 defensively. 91, 92, that group. This is the best defensive coaches that you've had since those guys. I mean, the coaching is insane great. Cowgirls' run game is still, absolutely, man. And their run defense. Hey, Joshua, you know what, people got mad at me yesterday because I said the Cowboys and Dak and all that. Dude, the George Pickens sign, that didn't move me off my 7 or 8 wins for the Cowboys this year. I think they're going to be around in there somewhere. He's not a wins mover. You know why? You need to sign a D tackle, running back, run defender. That was not a wins mover. Now, your offensive passing game is better, but that doesn't necessarily translate to wins, does it? Hey, how many times have you seen the greatest passing offense on the planet? All of a sudden, you look at the record and you go, how's that team an 8-win team? Well, it's a team sport. You got to play defense. Seals, I would say since 99. Is that Ray Rhodes? I think that's Ray's group, no? Since that Ray Rhodes group? I think Rhodes was the head coach. Am I right, Kyle? Rhodes was the head coach in 99? Because Reed came in 2000, I think. Right? 98. Okay. Well, Ray was the defensive. Ray was the head coach of the year in the NFL. So, you guys have been absolutely sensational today in spinning stuff. Man, I didn't really project that much when it comes to like Philly guys. I know Mark Farzetta. By the way, I'm very sure he's very excited today new Pope, Pope Leo the 14th. Told you guys I was an altar boy. John Paul II in 79, at Yankee Stadium for the Pope. There's old Dan. Then we had to go down to the Bowery, and I was like, what's that? And we had to go down and feed like the soup kitchen guys and all that. It was pretty cool. The Archdiocese of Bridgeport, New Jersey, and also New York, I think Lower Manhattan, all went and were like choir boys there in 79. My aunt remembers me going there. It's pretty cool stuff here. So I'm sure he's excited about that. But that's not the big news. So I want to ask Mark Farzetta this before we bring him up. So let me say this again to Mark. Marky, you're ready. Just nod. There you go, Mark. Nod. Okay, he's nodding. He's in the green room nodding. So the company had the greatest year in the history of the Philadelphia Eagles with a gigantic windfall. Best year ever. Every employee benefited. I mean, Milton Williams gets a chance to make $26 million a year. Josh Sweat, 20. Barkley got a raise to $20 million. Isaiah Rodgers got $8 million a year in Minnesota. Oren Burks got more money in Cincinnati. Holy cow, where else are we going here? Fred Johnson got a raise in Jacksonville. So the general manager of your business comes to you and says, I know everybody in a windfall year, the greatest year of all time. Dallas, we want you to take a pay cut. I know you were instrumental in the playoffs, but we want you to take a pay cut. My take is this. I saw Saquon Barkley shut it down the last 3 games of the season in New York making business decisions. How motivated am I when I'm being told to take less money when everyone else is benefiting, and I've got to go out and play through injury for you because you told me, one, I'm on a 1-year deal. You didn't give me anything to tell me I'm coming back. What's the incentive for me to play hard? Everyone else made money but me. Let's bring in one of the top paisans in Philly. And he is one of my favorites too, by the way. Mark Farzetta. He joins us now here. I don't know, Farzy, what you make of the new Pope?
Are you kidding me? My son's name is Leo. So I moved up the ladder. You know what I'm saying? I moved up the ladder. All right. Also, I was happy to see the new Pope. I was happy to see the white smoke. I think that means that the tush push is not getting banned. So I think that's a big win for Eagles fans everywhere. And Chicago Bears fans, I'm sorry, just because your Pope is a Chicagoan, the Pope is a Chicagoan, doesn't mean you're going to meet the Green Bay Packers. I think you're going to need more than God to be able to upset the rivalry there. Big win for the Peruvians. Spent a lot of time down there. I've spent a week of my life in Peru. The food was terrible, but the people were great. And congratulations to the Villanova people on Pope Leo as well. It's a big day. It's a big, big day, my friend.
Absolutely. I think they're probably celebrating in Blue Island and right there in Arlington Heights because they're moving the stadium there, obviously, too. So a lot of good things happening in Chicago here lately. And now we get a Pope. Couldn't believe it, an American Pope here. All right. So my diatribe, as some would, label it.
Yeah.
What do you make of this whole Goedert thing here, man? I mean, look, when healthy, he's still a top 5 guy.
Oh, yeah. I get
just your spin on this here. What do you make of this?
Well, my first reaction to it was like really the only team that we heard at least kick the tires on Dallas Goedert was the Giants. So I would have loved to have been a fly on the wall for that conversation. Like, how much are the Giants offering? Yeah, no, I'll take $4 million less to go back to the Eagles and play for the Giants. That was the first thing. The second thing was everyone we hear coming to Philadelphia, from rookies to free agents to veteran free agents, whatever, they all talk about this culture that is so great. Now, let's just move right past the rose-colored glasses, the Disney-colored glasses, and all that stuff. The Eagles are winners. All right, the Eagles are winners. 3 Super Bowl appearances in 7 years, 2 Super Bowl championships. That's pretty damn good. So right away, that's the most important thing. Now, right after that, though, if I'm a player, I want to play for a team that's going to win. Dallas Goedert taking a pay cut to return to the Eagles. And let's not forget about the order of all this. Let's not forget about the chronology. The way this went was Dallas Goedert wanted a new deal. The Eagles said, forget about it. You're going to go somewhere else. Go try, seek a trade. You have our blessing, okay, to stick with the theme. You have our blessing to go out and seek a trade. No trade. No trade. So he comes back to the Eagles. Dallas Goedert's camp sits down with the Eagles. They work out a deal that is obviously not going to pay him more money. It is going to be guaranteed. All the guaranteed money for him was already gone. So they guarantee the deal. And at the same time, if you're Dallas Goedert, to step into the more maybe examining the full realist type of movement with this deal, it's not just about taking a $4 million pay cut. It's about George Kittle just signed a deal that is a record for a tight end, and he's a year older than you. This time next year, you're going to be going through the same type of thing, and you could be doing it after you, A, have an actual healthy season, and B, you also go out there and you win another Super Bowl. If Dallas Goedert does that, he'll get George Kittle money. Dallas Goedert ain't getting George Kittle money right now, but he could get George Kittle type money over the next 2-3 years after this season if he's got another Super Bowl ring, even if he just has a healthy, productive season, because I still believe that Dallas Goedert is at worst a top 5 tight end in the NFL.
Absolutely.
So he could make bank next year by doing the cliche, betting on himself this year.
Yeah, auditioning and and I completely agree with you 1,000%, Mark. If you're looking at your agent, you already know the writing on the wall with them. They've already expressed it to you, and they've showed it to you with the lack of a 3-year contract or with any money of any kind of substance when it comes to a signing bonus. So like you said, do I want to go to Carolina like Miles Sanders and destroy my career for $3 million more and lower my market value? Or do I come back to a winning environment where I'm auditioning for 31 other football teams out there that may need a tight end or may want my services? So I do think that, to me, though, it just was really odd, though, in how they handled this all, because, look, there's no doubt Howie Roseman works for the owner, and that was a stroke of genius. They made sure that they didn't draft anybody. They barely signed anybody. Harrison Bryant, these guys are dudes. That is the guy they wanted back, but they wanted him back at their own price, and they wanted him back at their own contract. And so they got him another year, and it was really a well-done job. But again, at the end of the day, Mark, he's telling people from Drew Rosenhaus saying is that when Dallas was out, like maybe the Chargers had some interest in him. Howie's telling him, yeah, we gave him permission to go seek a trade. Right there, you're already asking questions. Why of a top 5 tight end? Then you're sitting around going, well, one of the reasons why we're moving off him is because of the injury factor. That's going to shrink half the market. So what he did was he set the landmines out there to get the player he wanted and getting him back. Again, people are going to look at that and go, Sills, are you saying that he was disrespecting? No, he was just doing NFL business. That's what he's not the only general manager looking for the right deal. So I don't want people to get hurt by this conversation. This is how the NFL acts. They want a player at their price. Everyone else, you look around them, it's greatest year of all time. But at the end of the day, this is what goes on in the NFL, son. This is what we think you are. See the answer? That's exactly right. That's exactly right, the answer.
Yeah, look at it. Look no further than Hassan Reddick a year ago. That was Joe Douglas. Howie Roseman won a Super Bowl with Joe Douglas working right under him with the Eagles. It wouldn't have shocked me if Howie Roseman pulled off that deal, having already bought Hassan Reddick 2 tickets to Japan and a robe and fuzzy slippers, knowing how it was going to end up in New York, right? So now you look at it from another perspective. He's going to do the same thing to Dallas Goedert. And Dallas Goedert, to his credit, all the interactions I've had with him over the years, he is a very down-to-earth guy. Cool. He's a good dude. He's a team-first guy. Look, all you need to know, not even know him personally, all you need to know is he is a great, not an average, not a serviceable, a great blocking tight end.
Absolutely. That
That means you are a selfless player, and that reflects his personality as well. And you know what? On that note, I always go back to this story. There, some years ago, the year actually I think the Eagles won the Super Bowl, they were playing in Atlanta. And if you remember this, a bunch of guys went down, including Dallas Goedert, in pregame warmups. And there were all sorts of reports about the pressure in the dome in Atlanta had changed when they closed it, and a bunch of guys who weren't used to it. Like, you remember that story? Anyway, after that game, the Eagles got beat up in that game. The run game was non-existent. I remember Jason Kelce talking after that game about how they had to throw away half their running plays because Dallas Goedert wasn't in there to block. That's how pivotal he can be. That's how important he can be to an offensive line. That's how important he can be to a run game. Just that skill set alone. So the idea that he's back and the Eagles are running it back with this offense, I mean, look at it like this. If you're doling out question marks to this team, you're throwing the last – maybe on offense, the one position you're looking at is right guard, but again, that's offensive line. You got all the trust in the world in Jeff Stoutland. It's on the defensive side of things. If they need a little bit of a learning curve, I have no doubt in my mind that this offense is going to be a juggernaut yet again now that Dallas Goedert is back.
Help me. Listen, you and I are talk show hosts. We have been for decades. So when I bring a topic of this up, I want, again, this is just me being big sales here, and you know how that can be. There's a lot of cinema to it. We'll use that word, okay?
I love the setup. I love the setup to this question already. Go
ahead. See, he's a professional. He knows where I'm going already. So if you're A.J. Brown and you got the 30th ranked offense, passing, and you had 44, though you were 44th in targets this past season, and you duplicate every single thing you did a year ago. You win the Super Bowl. You run the ball like a maniac. You're winning with Saquon Barkley. All of a sudden, you don't win the Super Bowl. You come up short. You get beat in the divisional round with the same season that you had a year ago. How do you feel A.J. Brown will be on that situation when last year we were watching him read books on the sideline for Jelly of the Month Club, and we're kind of watching him like, you know, as he was getting ready to check some books out down there at the library. I was just curious, how do you think he'll act, knowing full well that, you know, wide receivers like their targets?
Yeah. I found it very interesting last year. They were asking him these questions, and I want to say 3/4 of the way through the season, when it was pretty evident that the Eagles weren't changing anything offensively, that it was going to be a run by far first type of offense, and their passing game was going to be used only in case of emergency, break that glass, and behind it is Smitty and AJ and Dallas, or at times Grant Calcaterra. AJ Brown would just stand there in his locker room and smile, or in his locker and just smile and just say, "You ain't going to get me. You're not going to get me." And the only time he was really critical was a time that it was just undeniable that the passing game had suffered. And I forget the word. I forget the word that was used at the time, but it was a perfect way to kind of sum it. It basically went stagnant. It basically went stagnant, the Eagles passing offense. So I think this is going to be a huge responsibility on the plate of Kevin Patullo sitting at a new table. He's the guy that is now in charge of calling the plays. He's the offensive coordinator. If I have one request, and it has to do along the lines of making sure AJ stays happy, and I'm not saying that like AJ, because I'm one of the few people that says AJ Brown is not a huge diva. I think he has necessary conversations when it's time to have them, and that's one of the great themes of last year, whether it's Devontae Smith or AJ Brown, talking about tough conversations. But I think a lot of this responsibility is going to fall on the table of Kevin Patullo, because if I have one request to make of him, it's to make sure that you don't give the ball to Saquon Barkley 482 times the way you did in all of last season and postseason combined. Hey, look, I would love for that to be the case where you just ride that until you can't. I would like to know that that is going to last me until another Super Bowl championship. But don't ask as much of Saquon Barkley. Rely a little bit more on the passing game to get you out of situations. Ask Saquon to, yes, be as great as you were, but in terms of workload, touches, and all that, we're going to rely a little bit more on our passing game in that regard. Not force it, but just have that be a little bit more of a game plan. Not be the league leader in passing. I don't care about that. But can I get, you mentioned third in passing. Can I get, or 30th in passing? Can I get middle of the road? Is it too much to ask for a middle of the road passing game? Because even that will spell Saquon Barkley enough to the point where you don't have to use him in nearly as many fourth quarters. And that was still using him sparingly in fourth quarters last year. I think it would be the best way to spread that love and continue to keep everybody happy.
You know, I posted this question here on my X account here, and let me ask you this: since 2022, who do you believe has been the most important Philadelphia Eagle since 2022? And remember, without A.J. Brown, the Eagles are 24-28-1. And the Eagles with him, since he showed up, they're 39-12. So my question would be to you, is it A.J. Brown? Is it Jalen Hurts? Is it Barkley, who delivered the Super Bowl to you this last year and really redefined your offensive approach? Who, in your opinion, has been the most valuable and most important component to winning since 2022?
Look, I am one of the first people to acknowledge the great contributions and aid that A.J. Brown brings to the table with Jalen Hurts as the quarterback. But in football, it's all about the quarterback. And one of the things I absolutely love about Jalen Hurts is that he is not trying to find a way to shoehorn himself into an offense and be the star of the show. He's not afraid to step aside. You put some other quarterbacks back there. Oh, no, we're running way too much, and I got to make sure I get mine. I think that is such a great thing about Jalen Hurts. I go with Jalen Hurts as the most important Eagle, and that is being full aware of what A.J. Brown brings to the table. But one of the things that jumps out to me the most about this past season, which for people that forget, is the second Super Bowl Jalen Hurts has played in. In the first one, for the short memory people, there was no Saquon Barkley in that game. So this one, I look at a guy this entire season that a lot of people question the mental know-how, the ability to read a defense and all that. And he's going into this season with a guy who hadn't played the center position at the NFL level in Cam Jurgens. And instead of leaving that up to Cam Jurgens, he took on that responsibility of helping his center more show shift protection, check down, pre-snap reads, and all that. That was on Jalen Hurts' shoulders. And that was a huge step forward. It was a big responsibility for him to take on. He took it, and he flourished. And the question that a lot of people asked throughout the season and statement they made was, if Jalen Hurts has to throw the ball in the Super Bowl or in the playoffs, will they win? Well, the Kansas City Chiefs took away Saquon Barkley, and Jalen Hurts made every throw he needed to make. And they blew out the Chiefs in the Super Bowl, just like they blew out the Commanders in the NFC Championship game. It's all about the quarterback. I mean, you look at what New England was able to do, not that Jalen Hurts is Tom Brady by any means, but they kept it steady at quarterback, and they just kept winning. The Eagles with Jalen Hurts have someone whose mental toughness I never have to question, his desire to win I never have to question, his ability to spread the football around, whether that's Saquon Barkley on the team or DeAndre Swift on the team, or that's Miles Sanders on the team. Everybody is getting theirs. So I look at Jalen Hurts as the heartbeat and MVP of this team, and appropriately, as fate would have it, also a Super Bowl MVP already in his back pocket.
So in your opinion, then, they would be as successful with or without A.J. Brown?
I do think they'd be as successful. I mean, look, that's assuming you don't bring in somebody who's straight up ass at the wide receiver position.
Oh, like George Pickens? You know this, that's going to create a lot of crap there in Dallas. That guy is a big ass baby on the sidelines.
Oh, I can't. It's beautiful. Just to think of it, just to daydream about it. Oh, that's beautiful. But yeah, and look, he's a very talented football player. And I do look forward to him helping the Dallas Cowboys be a really good regular season team before they choke again in the postseason. So there you go.
Oh my God, that's absolutely.
And, you know, that touches on an interesting point, because I hear a lot of people, and we're about to go through this point of the offseason, Sills, and you know, where we go through the lists. Oh man, everyone's got a list about the list of quarterbacks and Jalen Hurts and all that. I'll be honest with you. The lists that are going to come out, I'm not going to be shocked when Justin Herbert is still ranked above Jalen Hurts in as far as a quarterback, because they're all playing fantasy. All right. What if Justin Herbert had this offense? I don't care, because he doesn't. And he'll probably never have this offense that Jalen Hurts has right now. I would doubt Howie Roseman, as crazy as he could be, I would doubt Howie Roseman's going to trade his entire offense to the Chargers. Okay. I know that Jalen Hurts works here in Philadelphia. I know if you get him some talent, just like any quarterback, he'll find a way to put that talent in the best possible position to help a team win. And I know Jalen Hurts can make the throws. I know Jalen Hurts can read the defense, pre-snap, post-snap, whatever. He has answered all the questions. So for me, I don't give a damn about the lists that are about to come out. I hope I never have to know how Jalen Hurts is going to play when he's on a crap team, because I always want him to be on a great team, and I want that great team to be the Philadelphia Eagles.
Oh, he is always on a great team from college on. I mean, it's like,
Yeah,
it's been a storybook start from when he was at Bama, Oklahoma, and the Philadelphia Eagles. I mean, I tell people all the time, Mark, it's not when you get drafted in the draft, it's where you get drafted in the draft to make your opportunity. So,
yeah,
absolutely true. All right, my last one here for you. Do you have any concerns about 11 players not on this 53-man roster and a new OC that's going to be on this football team moving forward this year? I mean, even the role players that you had on this football team. I mean, look, you may say this, Kenny Gainwell, Orrin Burks, Fred Johnson. Well, those guys all had a role last year. You know, the great Jordan team in Chicago, not everybody was the superstar team, but Longley had a role. Rodman had a role. Pippen had a role. Kerr, Jordan was the main engine. Cartwright had a role. Everyone had a role. Everyone did a year ago. What do you make of 11 players that are no longer on this football team that played a role in what could have been the greatest year in Eagle history, not here any longer, moving forward with a new play caller? How do you see this year?
It's certainly not nothing. It's certainly something. I mean, again, I talked about question marks. Yeah, make this stretch and say it's right guard. Who is going to be the right guard? We had the same conversation last year, but do you have confidence in Jeff Stoutland staying here? But again, a lot of this comes down to Kevin Patullo. One of my biggest questions, that is a legit question. It's not just going to be answered during the course of the season. It could be answered right now. How is Kevin Patullo ready for this job now when he wasn't 2 years ago? And you went with Brian Johnson. You elevated Patullo to, I believe, not even assistant head coach, but I believe associate head coach.
Yeah.
And you went with Brian Johnson and said, what makes Kevin Patullo all of a sudden ready now? That's it. Hey, look, if the answer is, he just needed a little bit more time to observe how we want to do things, maybe learn from a guy like Kellen Moore, fine. That could be the answer to it. But it does beg the question, wait, he was here 3 years ago. Why now? Why is now the good time? The other thing is, it's a similar situation when you look at a guy like Chauncey Gardner-Johnson. Look, even if the Eagles bring in Justin Simmons, which I still think they will.
Yeah.
Even if the Eagles bring in Justin Simmons, he's still not Chauncey Gardner-Johnson. There is a known commodity with the best evidence you could possibly have. You had him. You went to a Super Bowl. You didn't have him. You didn't go to a Super Bowl. You brought him back. You went to another Super Bowl. How that? Like, the proof is in the pudding. So look, it's certainly not nothing. It's definitely something that we're going to question about the right mix of players. But ultimately, what it comes back to, and I forget who I just heard say this, but why should you have confidence that the Eagles can make these changes with their personnel and still expect similar results? And that has to do with coaching sticking around in, obviously the head coach and Nick Sirianni. Kevin Patullo is still an in-house guy that's very familiar with Nick Sirianni and obviously very tight with Jalen Hurts. And then you also think about Vic Fangio. I don't know if there's another guy in the NFL that deserves more trust right now than Vic Fangio. I mean, this is a guy that looked at, 6 plays of Zach Bond and went, inside linebacker, okay, check. And then all of a sudden he does what he does. And then the look on his face after they draft Jahad Campbell, Sills. It was like a toddler on Christmas morning walking into that draft room. I got trust in the coaching staff that they're not just going to willy-nilly move on from guys. And even at the Kenny Gainwell spot, I really like A.J. Dillon. Damn.
Me too.
I mean, I think, look,
if he's healthy, that is an upgrade.
Kenny Gainwell, Kenny Gainwell was great last year. He wasn't good. He wasn't average. He wasn't serviceable. He was great last year. A.J. Dillon's a guy that's going to run over a couple of those people at the end of a 10-yard run and make it a 20-yard run. That's not something that Kenny Gainwell was able to do.
That's right. I mean, he's not, again, there's another issue with injury there with A.J. He's not being moved in Green Bay because he stinks. He was being moved because of that pinched nerve in his neck. Okay, that's where we're going. I know you got to run here, but will we see before training camp Nick Sirianni with a new contract?
Before training camp.
July 27th.
I'm going to say first week of training camp. I'm going to say
of training camp.
First week of training camp. Everyone's together. You make the announcement. Here he is. Answer the questions. Ask the questions. All that. New deal. Mega bucks. Okay. Yes. I'm going to say, if you're saying by training camp, no, but I will say it's right around there. It's the beginning of training camp.
Okay, so we're going to write this down here, and then we're going to burn it in the stoves of St. Peter's just to make sure Farzy gets – we don't want to have any evidence of this because, I don't know, we'll see.
It'll be the Nick Sirianni press conference following week. The Justin Simmons comes to the Eagles press conference.
I like that. I believe he is too. I think Vic wants him back there too. So, hey, Farzy, thank you so much, my friend. I appreciate it.
Always a pleasure. Hey, congrats to Italians everywhere on a new pope, even though he's not Italian. They'll be crying in their cacio pepe tonight in Rome.
Yeah. Hey, I do like the fact he's an American, though, so we're good. We got our first American pope, so I'm in there, Team USA, baby. Team USA.
He's going to end every homily. He's going to end every homily with "Go Bears," just like that.
The Bears. Thank you, brother. I appreciate it, man. How you doing? That was good stuff. Farzetta, man. Absolutely always great. Make sure you check him out when it comes to our broadcasting here on JAKIB Sports. That leads me to this here. I don't want to take a timeout yet. Oh, no. Oh, yes. Oh, no. Because I have a great topic here. Because I want to start this one up here. You tell me who has been the most important Eagle since 2022. Jalen Hurts, A.J. Brown, and Saquon Barkley. The Eagles without A.J. in the starting lineup. 24-28. And with him, this is since 2021, excuse me. The Eagles are 39-21. Saquon Barkley delivered a Super Bowl. It was really the only difference from the 23 team. Who is the most important Eagle since 2021? A.J. Brown? And by the way, I'll disagree with Farzetta. I do not believe that Jalen Hurts wins the Super Bowl without A.J. Brown or without Barkley in the huddle. No way. We've seen what they've looked like without him in clutch games. I saw him in a playoff game without him. Undefeated at 24 with AJ on the field. Whoa, let me add that one to it. Hold on here. Is that right? 30D. Is that right? The Eagles, what was the record, Dirty D? Dirty D, what was the record with A.J. Brown on the field with the Eagles? What was that record? What was that record? Help me out. Help me out there, Dirty D. Throwing fire right in there. That's really good. Love it. What was the record last year when A.J. Brown was on the field? What was his record? Kyle. Still the 99 Eagle defensive coaching staff, Frazier, McDermott, and Rivera. That's a good coaching staff. Absolutely. Let's see here. 13-0 or 12-1 with AJ on the field. All right. Huh. Interesting. 12-1 with A.J. Brown on the field, plus the 3 playoffs. They were 15-1 last year with Brown on the field. Is that, hey, Dirty D, am I right to say they're 15-1 with the playoffs with A.J. Brown on the field last year? Is that correct? All right. So we'll ask again. Who's the most important Eagle since 2021? A.J. Brown? Jalen Hurts? And Barkley? This always gets good. You know, it's funny. They didn't really start winning until AJ showed up in 22, right? Were they 9-8? Hurts' first year, right? Then AJ came in and went 14-3. Barkley came in, won a Super Bowl. Right? Huh. This is perplexing. I'm taken by it. Barkley got you the ring. Sills, as crazy as this might sound, I believe that Jalen Hurts is more confident when AJ's on the field with him. Needs to use him all the time, just knowing he's there. Dirty D. When A.J. Brown and Jalen play the whole game, we never lost a game in 24, I believe. It was 13. Oh, that's right. Because that went a full game. So you're talking Washington. They were undefeated. So wait a minute. They were 18-0. Is that right, Dirty D? Not counting the Washington game when Hurts and him were playing together. They were 18-0. You know, when Tyreek Hill got taken away from Patrick Mahomes, they won a Super Bowl. When Stephon Diggs, you all told me Josh Allen would regress. He won an MVP. I don't know what to make of that. They're undefeated with AJ on the field. And when AJ's not on the field, I'm assuming they're 1-3 this last year, right? 1-2. And since 21, 24-28 and 1. All right. Barkley. Oh, Barkley reinvented the offense last year. Remember what I told you after week 4 last year? If you do, some of you may. I said that Barkley was going to make you reevaluate how you were going to approach games. And they did. They went away from AJ. But guess what? AJ was as important in the run game as Hurts was. Those two guys were huge in the run game. Hurts and AJ, dude, there is no way Saquon Barkley gets over $2,000. If you've got Tanner McKee starting, there's not a chance Saquon Barkley runs for 2,000 yards. No way. I have no threat of that guy running. No way. Absolutely not. Hurts and A.J. Brown are, let me think. How important is Lamar and Ray Flowers? Is that his name? Ray Flowers in Baltimore in the run game. Well, Lamar is, but the wide receiver's not. Now, you got Derrick Henry. I get it. But, dude, look at those powerful running guys you have. One guy's amazing in blocking downfield. A.J. Brown Would you not, Zayflowers, thank you, Marcus. Hey, will you not agree? Okay, let me tell you something, man. A.J. Brown is the best blocking wide receiver in football. Would we not agree to that? That's why he's, when people, look, I love Jefferson. But, dude, A.J. Brown's the best blocking wide receiver in football. I don't really think it's close. Because look at the two dudes he's blocked for. As a matter of fact, has A.J. Brown ever been on an offense where a guy didn't gain 1,000 yards running the ball? He had Henry his entire career. Shit, when he first got here, he had Miles Sanders and then he had DeAndre Swift. Those guys all gained 1,000 yards. Then Barkley went for 2. You can't say that's just a coincidence. There's 4 different dudes. This guy, 1,000+ yards with Henry, Sanders, Swift, Barkley, 4 different guys in the last 5 years have all gained over $1,000 with A.J. Brown blocking on the perimeter. I got to think that, is there a wide receiver in pro football that has that distinction? Can you name me another wide receiver that's been so instrumental in not getting his numbers and blocking in the run game and producing north of 1,200 rushing yards in the last 4 years than A.J. Brown? That's why I tell you that guy since 2022 when he burst on the scene has been the most instrumental guy on that offensive football team. Without him, you do not have the running attack. There's no way. He has every single guy that he has played with for the last 5 years has made the Pro Bowl. When those guys leave, they're nobodies. Where's Miles Sanders trying to rejuvenate his career in Dallas? Hey, ask DeAndre Swift how that shit went up in Chicago last year. Still, it's the O-line. Oh, I get it. O-line, I do get it. Last year, you said 2 things were going right. Going to start 2-2. Barkley would change the offense. I did say that. Thank you. I completely, I said, the way Barkley started and the way Hurts did, with all the turnovers that Hurts was having. Remember what he had in the first? Kyle, if you can remember right, put the turnovers, what he had in the first 4 games. After that, I think he had 1 turnover the rest of the year. 1-2 turnovers, something crazy like that. Because they limited his touches. And Barkley reinvented the offense. That's exactly what happened. A.J. Brown does not get enough value for his blocking. So wait a minute. He's instrumental in having the number 1 running attack in football history. And he gets 1,400 yards a year. Boy, I'll tell you something. I mean, that guy's a pretty important piece to my offense. Shit. I'm not so sure I want that guy out of there. Money? He just might be worth. I tell you this. Who would you rather pay $35 million to? Justin Jefferson or A.J. Brown in Philadelphia's offense? I don't think Jefferson would block. Wants to trade? What do you mean, flip? I'm asking a question, jackass. Who's the most important guy since 22? It's a question. He will be traded. Stupidity. This guy likes, he's so dumb. Dude, trust me. I don't believe we're here. I don't know. I don't believe you follow along very well. Like a 2-year-old. Over here, kid. Over here, senorita. Jesus criminy. What do you need? A book of Braille? You wouldn't have been able to get the ball if it wasn't for Jalen. Yes, I agree 100%. AJ is a physical presence. And I think he creates a great attitude. Okay? Seals, can you pull up my super chat? Please, can you, Xander, there? I want to make sure we get that there. I love my boy Kyle. Seals, last year you said 2 things we were going to start. 2-2, and Barkley would change the offense. Right away! And my boy, there you go, Kyle. Big Sills did say that. How you doing, senorita? Don't go crying now. We don't need you crying. Be a good girl. AJ's the most complete wide receiver in the league. But he'll be gone. Correct. Come on, sweetheart. I got to get senorita in here because I actually like this guy. I was giving these guys 2 more years on the Eagles to win a Super Bowl before Howie starts trading away offense and drafting offensive skilled players. He's right. He's right. Senior. Oh, by the way, I wrote down because yesterday, we talked about the best duos in the NFC East. I wrote these down. By the way, my boy Clancy Bolan is going to be with us. He is the crime fighter for Morgan & Morgan. Great sports guy. That will be at 4:30 at the bottom of the hour. Come on. Come on. Hey, senor, you're good, man. You get it, brother. I love people who get it. So here are the big sills. Top 5 wide receiver duos in pro football based off of 2024. Now, can I tell you, Abe, I never applied for that thing. You know why? Sileo. Oh, my God. Oh, Marcus. No. Your radio companies are afraid of me. Ask them. Your Eagle team's afraid of me. Oh, Sileo. Not him. No. They're afraid of me. I don't apply for those kind of jobs. Why would I? They have fear riddled all over their faces. That one dude, Josh Ennis, is the guy who's being a politician for that job, going around trying to tell people how he loves Philly, all this and that. Probably does. But he's politicianing for it. I don't politician for shit like that. I know who I am. You know where I'm at. You like big sales? Call me. If you don't, no problem. But I know who he is. Not him. Oh. What do you mean what happened? Where you been, under a rock, dog? Sileo thinks he has controversial takes. You think I have controversial? No, I don't. Other people do. Oh, you got me wrong, kid. I don't believe I ever do. No. Telling the truth is controversial. Look at you fishing here. You say something truthful, Dude, remember, takes, and anybody who conjures takes up, all you got to do is tell the truth. Just tell the truth. Those are controversial. People would rather be lied to than told the truth to. Do you understand that? See, when you tell somebody what they want to hear, you're not controversial. You just go along for the ride. But when you're somebody like me who has an opinion, that's controversial. And Sills, it's dark out. It's kind of like dusk. Why are you debating whether it's nighttime? I'm not really. It's dusk to me. Well, it's night. I know. I got it. Yeah. I mean, what are you talking about? Sileo is, in fact, controversial figure in sports media. I love his content, but he lets admit facts, guy. And that's right. His takes have been met with controversy, like it or not. Thank you, David. Yes. I'm the most controversial dude in sports media. That's not a great label. My aunt hates that. Believe me, I don't like it. Howie Roseman doesn't like when people say that he gets the best of other GMs. I don't like that either. I swear to you, I don't. I don't think that's a merit badge. Rudy Marsky called me the most controversial sports talk figure in American sports history. I never got that. I don't understand that. I never did. I love this line. Oh, I love that. The most intriguing. I like that. Okay, then answer this, Big Cells. Who's more easy to replace in the offense? AJ? Oh, man, what a great topic. Hold on for a second here. Look at what this dude. Hold on here. Whoa, look at this top. Wait, got to move that out of the way. Who's more replaceable? Saquon, AJ, or Hurts. I can replace 2903. Hurts is the most replaceable guy of those three guys. You ain't winning a Super Bowl without Barkley, and you ain't winning a Super Bowl without I love that. Shady. What a great topic. That will be tweeted out later today. Oh, my God. That's the best topic. Holy cow. I haven't answered it, have I, Shady? Everyone's here going, great, Shady. Another bashing Hurts topic for Sileo to throw fire on it. Nice job, Shady. Way to go. You're going to be public enemy number 2. Who is more replaceable? Jalen Hurts to me. Hoyts. Way to go, Shady. Hey, here we go. Here are the 5 best wide receiver combos in pro football based off of 2024. Number 1, the Cincinnati Bengals. 127 catches, 1708, and 17 touchdowns for Jamar Chase. T. Higgins only in 12 games, 73 catches, 911 yards, and 10 touchdowns. The Bengals, the number 1 wide receiver duo in all of pro football. Number 2, based off of 2024, the best wide receiver combo. The Lions, Amar St. Brown and Jamison Williams. 115 catches for 1,263 and 12 touchdowns. Jamison Williams, 58 catches for 1,001 yards and 7 touchdowns. Number 3, best duo wide receiver in pro football based off the 2024 season. The Philadelphia Eagles' very own A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith. 87 catches, 1,079, 7 touchdowns. Devontae Smith, 68 catches, 33 yards, and 8 touchdowns. Number 4. Now, I've added this because of the seasons they had and where they are now. The Rams, Devontae Adams, Puka Nacua. 85, 1,065 and 7 for Devontae Adams. Puka Nacua. 79 catches, 990 yards, and 3 touchdowns. And number 5, Justin Jefferson and Jordan Addison, Minnesota Vikings. 103, 15, 33, and 10 touchdowns. Addison, 63 for 875. 9 TDs. There are your top 5 duos in wide receivers in pro football. By the way, the Bengals will always have the number 1 passing game in pro football. Why? Because they got the number 1 passing guy in football. AJ Hall of Fame run game contributions. I don't know, Mad D, if those guys are going to go deep dive into that. But you know what? I'm going to do this from now on. When I put those lists together, I'll never forget that guy's been instrumental in many guys having career. Hey, watch this, Mad D. I didn't think about it until we were talking. Ready? I mean, this guy's given guys career years the last 3 years, has he not? He's been part of an offensive attack in the run game. Look at what A.J. Brown has meant to your offense. He's put up get this, guys. In the last 3 years, has A.J. Brown put up the best 3 years of any wide receiver in Eagle history? Yes or no? Has he? What the hell you want, Sills? Why are you looking for me to go? What? Mark Holmes, man. He had a little bit yesterday. Why the hell you want me, Sills? Why you looking for me to go play with Mark Holmes? Good job. Hey, I like Marshall, man. I do. I love Big Marshall. Me and him. I think we'd have a fun time having beers, bro. Okay? I think you'd have a fun time. We'd have a fun time, brother. I swear to God, we go back and forth. We'd be bitching like maniacs. Okay? Well, it's funny. Your mom read my phone number well. So has A.J. Brown had the best 3 years receiving in the history of the Philadelphia Eagles? Yes. Has A.J. Brown helped deliver career years for Miles Sanders, Devontae Adams, DeAndre Swift, and Saquon Barkley? Yes. I know. No crying. Tears for fears. Nobody cry. I don't want anybody crying in here. Sue said Sills is processing. Yeah, sure. Okay, what's that mean? You're right. I'm not as smart as you, Prince. I don't talk over people. I talk to them. Here's Prince talking over folks again. And Sue, he's processing. What's that mean? Where do you go to UPenn? Where do you go? What do you, School of Wharton? Help me out here. What's that mean? Excuse me, I'm like every other guy sits in a bar drinking beers. I don't process shit. You know what I process? Meat. What are you talking about? Still says processing. Processing? Do I look like a guy with a plan? Stu? I mean, seriously, do I look like a guy with a plan? Yeah, I'm dumb. Okay. I know. People have been saying that since I was a little kid. Funny. Let me think about this. One of the most controversial guys in sports talk history, pro football player, All-American in college. My daughter's one of the most successful people on the planet right now. You're right. I'm probably the dumbest guy you know. How you doing? Yeah, you're right. I was so dumb, I dumbed my way into the college, University of Miami. I dumbed my way into the league, and I dumbed my way into broadcasting, and I dumbed my way into everything. Fair enough. I know this, man. Somebody in here is on a fire hydrant right now, and I'm not going to name any names. I can't wait to talk to her after this program. I love her to death. All right, man. Hey, don't forget, man, we're going to get Clancy Bolan on, and he's part of Morgan & Morgan, and he is your number one crime fighter in the city of Philadelphia. And we got a great relationship going on with all of our friends at Morgan & Morgan, so we're looking forward to talking with him. Holy cow. Oh, wait a minute. Can I do it now? Oh, I can. Let me do this. Big Sills versus CBS Sports. Got a new pope. Awesome. That's awesome. By the way, I should show you my medal that I got from the Pope. The previous Pope actually passed. Pretty cool. He blessed my medal. So, Big Sills. I've actually met one of the popes. Big Sills versus CBS. You ready? Before Clancy joins us, CBS came out with their post-draft top 10 quarterbacks in pro football. I am blessed, Sue. I'm blessed every day with my wonderful family. God is great. I would never want to be anybody else but me. Thank you, everyone. Oh, my God. I'm so happy being Big Sills. I have never wished anything other than me being a Sileo and being in my family. I love my family. I do. You know, I'll tell you something. Make no mistake about it. Now, this next guest we're getting on here, John Morgan was on with us on Tuesday. Now, this next guy, I think he's a Pittsburgh dude. Okay, now see, he may have a hall pass, and I'll tell you why. And I'm going to help him out here. The Steelers are in the AFC. Okay, the Eagles are in the NFC. And see, when you're a PA guy, see, I don't know if he's a Penn Hills guy. I don't know where he went to school there because my boy Marino and all them guys, Went to Bill Fralick and all them guys. They hung out around Pittsburgh. Those were all my boys. By the way, Bill Moss, congratulations being inducted into the Kansas City Chiefs Hall of Fame. He went to Pitt as well. I was supposed to go to Pitt. This is when they were number one when Dan Marino was there. So we found out from John Morgan that Clancy Bolan was a Duquesne guy. So now I'm trying to figure, does he root for Temple? Is he a Lafayette guy? Does he root for UPenn? Or again, is this a Pitt guy? Let's bring our friend on from Morgan and Morgan here, Clancy Bolan, and he joins us right now. How you doing, my friend?
What's going on?
John said there's only one thing, dude, that you have to be an Eagle fan.
I'm actually not a Pittsburgh guy. I only went to law school out there.
Okay, so have you become and developed being into an Eagle fan, or did you growing up rooting for another football team, or was it the Eagles when you grew up?
Grew up an Eagles fan. We've had family tickets now, God, the year after they went 3-13. And then, we got Don McNabb. My dad made a phone call. They told him he would be 20,000 on the waiting list, and then mentioned that he had an Irish pub. Next thing you know, his Irish wit kicks in, and we get 4 of the last seats in the lower bowl of Veterans Stadium. And so we'd hop in the car, drive down from the Wilkes-Barre-Scranton area, every home game. And then we continued on, and now it's kind of moved on. It's my sister, my niece, my nephew, and my brother and I take turns going.
So do you go Sunday to Eagle games? Do you guys, do you show up and do you go and you take your guys there and you guys have a great – how important – John building Morgan and Morgan, he built it kind of like a sports team in a way. He's like, hey, you got to prove your worth in each particular city in this country, especially in a city like Philadelphia when you've got such great sports towns and you got great sports fans. How important is that to you guys and how you run – your office here in Philadelphia? Sports has got to be, it's huge to the community. How important is it in your building?
When the Eagles are winning, this city is amazing. When all the sports teams are, and sports is so ingrained in our city. The team that I always think about when I think about, this city and how I wanted to build the Philadelphia office was the Broad Street Bullies. They took shit from no one, and they brought it every single game. And when I developed the people that came on here, that is the mentality that I wanted to get. Like, we're going to go in the courtroom, we're going to, kick everyone's butt. And then we hope that people do not want to step into that courtroom with us because of what we did to them the last time.
Well, I say this to you guys, and I always tell John this one, hey, man, you know why they're the number one injury law firm in the country? It's called winning. Okay. I'm going to use a Charlie Sheen line and go winning. Okay. That's the only reason, you guys. What do you make of Jalen Hurts?
Last year, the year before, I thought, and you could tell there was a struggle. I don't know whether it was just a disconnect between, the management and whatever. But he turned it on, and now he's got that, lights out. I think people kind of got on him in the beginning and forgot that he'd only been there like a year or two, and they were expecting him to perform like a 7-year veteran. And something clicked for him. And then, obviously, the Super Bowl, you saw he was lights out. And it's going to be amazing to see, the addition of Saquon. How do you not be a good quarterback when you look next to you and there's Saquon?
Look, now they're at the, here, now tell me about success and how you temper your guys in your office there, because I'm going to throw this at you here. Now I see them at the White House. Clancy, they're at the cricket club now, all of a sudden you're showing up to the Met Gala. Winning now, you know what I'm saying? You have to learn how to be a champion too, and you got to learn how to win. So, do you think they have the leadership on this team, in your opinion, to overcome that? Because again, they always call it a Super Bowl hangover, but hey man, learning how to win is important as well. And learning how to handle expectations is important.
Yeah. That's something that John really stresses with us here. And here in our office, we hit for 3 8-figure verdicts in the last 2 years, just in auto cases, which is kind of unheard of around here. And how we temper that is don't want a big head, but every trial, no matter how much money we win, we sit down the next day and say, what could we have done different? And what are we expecting that they're going to do to us the next time we're in trial? Because you're only as good as your last verdict.
That's
and
right.
You just want to keep, and we want to get better. And I think the team has the leadership, and I think a lot of that leadership comes from the order. You got people like Connor Barwin, who is a tremendous influence on that team, and also a great guy. We sponsor his Make the World Better Foundation. That's a good event.
Oh, that's killer. That's awesome.
Yeah. But Howie, I mean, all they want to do is get better. And you see this in the way they're drafting. And they're just drafting dudes. And if you're on that team and you don't perform, there is somebody below you that's going to come up and be better than you. Because they're hungry. And that's how they talk about the Eagles. They're hungry dogs. Hungry dogs got to eat. And I think that's how the city has confidence that next year there won't be that hangover. Like, they're going to come out and they want to be what the Kansas City Chiefs were. Boom, boom, boom.
Absolutely. Howie Roseman, the way he runs the Eagles, how impressed are you with them?
The thing that impresses me about him, the drafts, like I said, picking guys from Georgia on the defense, finding the best athletes, people like a Cooper DeJean, the guy from Akron, just finding guys that are comfortable enough and confident in their abilities that when you put them with the superstars, they fit right in. And something that John Morgan does is getting younger people in to try cases with Keith Mitnick, with Matt Morgan. And it's who's got that confidence that they could step in. Howie does a great job of finding those people. And you see that continued success. Another thing the Eagles do, when somebody's at the end of their line, they don't overpay them to keep them. I mean, I always say they let Brian Dawkins go, he's still the face of Philadelphia. And they were confident enough that, hey, we're not going to overpay you at the end of your career. We're sorry. We love you, but we're always moving forward with this team. And they strike that balance. And he's brilliant. You just can't catch a beer can.
I know, man. I'll tell you what, you needed a Zapruder film for that thing. Too soon, maybe. I don't know. I know this. Okay. I thought of you when we were talking about this earlier. So look at how he handled the Dallas Goedert stuff here, Clancy. He goes like this: I'm not paying you $14.5 million. Yeah. What I'm going to do is I'm going to pay you $10 million. I'm not going to give you any more money. Go out and find out and see what your market value is worth. And what's he turn around to do? He gets the guy back anyway, the way he wanted him, and he gets the player he wanted. Being patient, it's what it's about, isn't it?
Yeah, you don't jump the gun. I mean, they've got a pulse on the market, and they know. I mean, he knew that Dallas is going to go out there, and it just wasn't going to be there. And then it becomes, do you want $11 million with a team that sucks, or do you want $10 million with a team that's going to win the Super Bowl?
All right, speaking of this, so a team that we sponsor, and you know this because we're the official law firm of the Sixers. How you handling that? How you handling Daryl Morey and the Sixers right now?
I hope I don't lose our sponsorship by talking about this. They just produced the graphic today that it was like Embiid, Maxey, and Paul George, we're going to be back next year. It's like, I always say, and I do this in my cross-examinations, when a company does the same thing over and over again, you expect the same result or a different result. It's definition of insanity. They've run it back now, and it just doesn't work. They've got to move on. They got to. It's just, and the fan base right now is terrible.
You want to move on from Embiid?
I thought they should have got rid of him when they could have. And then this year, I mean, now his value, I mean, who thinks he's going to play a full year for them? And the problem with Embiid was the game is not designed for him. He can be a dominant player, but he's not a Jokic who has that court awareness. Probably because he started playing so late, but he just doesn't have that ability out of a double team in this type of league where it's not a big man's league. It's the Brunsons, the Jaylen Browns, the Jason Tatums, those attack Anthony Edwards, like those are the guys that the league is built on, and they're not built on big men unless you're like a Jokic he's just awesome.
Are you sure you haven't done sports talk before? Where are we going here? I mean, I throw all different sports at you here, and you're like on top of your game over here now. I mean, here, okay, so finally, your prediction on the 2025 Philadelphia Eagles will end where? By the way, the Super Bowl's in Santa Clara. What happens this year to the Philadelphia Eagles? How far do you believe they go?
They go all the way. I don't. They got. I feel like they're better going into this season. I don't know what it is. I think it's. You talked about the hangover. I think it's going to give them the confidence that they can go out and dominate. And the way they did that Super Bowl is the way they're going to roll through this season. I just think they've got that killer mentality now. They know how to do it, how to step on people's throats. And it ends in Santa Clara. And it doesn't end in Santa Clara. It ends here in front of the art museum, right to the right of me.
Dude, you got to do it again, man. I think you're awesome. I didn't know what to expect, and now that I found out you're not a Pittsburgh guy, you're an Eagle guy here, man. That's going to be great moving forward here, and I appreciate you, brother, and I think we got to do this again. Thank you so much.
If you have me on again, remind me to do the Lafayette story for you.
I definitely will. We will write that down. Thank you, Clancy. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
You got it. Clancy Bolan I call him our crime fighter in Philadelphia for Morgan & Morgan. And, man, very sportsy. I loved it. Threw all kinds of topics at him, and he just knocked them down like they were bowling pins. Great job, man. That was absolutely awesome. Xander's going to join us at the top of the hour. So what this is going to do now is give Big Sills. It is Big Sills versus CBS. What did they coin this? What did they coin this here? Let me go over here. CBS. Ba-da-ba-ba, ba-da-ba-pa, pa-pa-pa, pa-pa-pa. Here it is. The quarterback power rankings. The 2025 NFL Power Rankings post-draft. And what I did, okay? All right? What I did was Big Sills versus CBS. CBS had Jaden Daniels as the number one quarterback in pro football. Me, I had the reigning most talented quarterback in all of pro football, Josh Allen. CBS at number 2. Philadelphia Eagles own Hillary Hurts at number 2. Big Sills had Joe Burrow, number 2. CBS had number 3, Joe Burrow. Big Sills, Patrick Mahomes, Kansas City. CBS at number 4 had Lamar Jackson. Big Sills had Jaden Daniels at number 4. Number 5, CBS Power Rankings quarterbacks had Josh Allen, number 5. Big Sills from the city of brotherly love, Jalen Hurts. Number 6, CBS had Patrick Mahomes. Big Sills had Lamar Jackson. I got Hurts ranked ahead of him. Number 7, CBS had Stafford. I did too. Number 8, CBS in their power rankings post-draft quarterbacks in the NFL for 25 had Jordan Love. I had Jared Goff. Lions. Number 9, CBS had Jared Goff. Big Sills and Brock Purdy. Number 10, they had Brock Purdy. Big Sills had Jordan Love. Big Sills Power Rankings post-draft 2025 Power Rankings quarterbacks. Allen, Burrow, Mahomes, Jaden Daniels, Hillary Hurts, Lamar, Matthew Stafford, Goff, Purdy, and Love. Folks, our great friends at Morgan & Morgan with over $30 billion recovered for our clients. No other law firm like it in the country. In Pennsylvania here, I told you about the family who got $30 million because Morgan & Morgan went out and got that settlement for the family. They wanted to offer them peanuts. Down in Florida, family got $12 million. Folks, again, offered them peanuts. Morgan & Morgan's team of crime fighters go in there. You just heard Clancy Bolan, what he does in Philadelphia, same thing, man. These guys don't earn salaries, guys. They only get paid if they win for you. And that's why they're number 1 in the country. If you're ever injured, please do me a favor and go to forthepeople.com/big cells or pound law 529. That's forthepeople.com/big cells or pound law 529. And do me a favor. You tell them Big Sills sent you.
This is Eric. When he got injured in a car accident, he called Morgan & Morgan. He not only gets a lawyer, he gets trial lawyers like Sam and Jessica who are in it to win it. He gets his own investigators with briefcases, leather ones. And if you ever have questions, our customer service folks keep things rolling. Injured? We're your army. Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm.
Your financial future is on the line. Are you ready for what's next? At Leone & Company Wealth Management, we help young professionals, business owners, and pre-retirees navigate the complexities of building and protecting wealth. For young professionals, we'll help you grow your wealth, plan for your future, and make the most of your hard-earned dollars. For business owners, we provide strategies to protect your company, manage risks, and create a lasting legacy for both your business and personal wealth. For pre-retirees, we'll design a plan to secure your retirement, ensuring you can live comfortably and confidently in your next chapter. Whether you're just starting out, managing a thriving business, or preparing for retirement, we're here to help you take control of your financial future. The first consultation is on us. Get the advice you need without the cost. Let's make your financial vision a reality. Take the next step. Scan the QR code to schedule your free consultation today. And of course, go Birds.
Field of life, First Trust Bank is there for you.
Champions on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Because Philadelphia dreams deserve a Philadelphia bank.
In our hometown, we all look out for each other. We step up to keep our communities going strong. And at Independence Blue Cross, we're here to keep you going strong as the #1 health insurer in the region. No IBX is always looking out for you.
EAG.
Oh, my God, that's great. Clancy really enjoyed himself. Of course, it's what we do here. Everybody enjoys himself, even guys like M. Reyes. How you doing? Hey, by the way, Josh Harris, they're pretty ballsy of this guy, man. Owner of the Redskins. So he's getting an $850 million, what is it, public money he's looking for? $850 million? From the DC fans. And like in the last 20 years, they're like 145 and like 150. Yeah, that's solid. And they let that shithole FedEx Field like deteriorate right in front of their fans' eyes. It's like a horrible experience to go. And you're going to give that guy $850 million for a new stadium there where RFK is? Yeah, okay. Hey, dude, at least when you go to Eagle fans, hey, I want some public money to retrofit Lincoln Financial. At least they can stand on shit and go, we've been to 3 Super Bowls, we've won 2 of them. We've really, we just need to update because we want to bring some new events to Philly. Okay, I'm in on that. Build it and they will come. This guy, Josh Harris, like, hey, come and then we'll build it. I mean, that's so stupid. Why would I support you, guy, until you prove your worth? Dude, you can do all this you want. Why would I make you richer? What's my objective? What, to wave banners and pom-poms? And he's a Sixer owner. So wait a minute, let me get this right. He's hijacked tax money, and he's conned people into that thing down in Chinatown in Philly, and now he's getting a new stadium? Dude, this guy's wonderful. Hey, you want to know how to take advantage of your fan bases? Josh Harris is the king of it. That's how you take advantage of people. How you doing? All right. Hey, by the way, just so everyone knows in here, like flexing all you guys, don't you wish somebody could build you a house? Or, build you a house, and they build you the house, you get to live in it, and they get no benefits from it, except for me waving a pom-pom. Yeah, okay. It sounds like I'm having a lot of fun. And I increase your net wealth. Yeah, of course you will. So will Josh. Right. No doubt. All right. So let me get this right here. My friend Xander Krause is a entrepreneur, as you know. I'm sure he'd be at the cricket club a little later on there with King Hertz and, everyone out there at the cricket club, drinking mint tulips and hanging out with the Richie guys. So let me ask you this. You own a business. Xander's got all-time profits going. Everything's going great. Paying everybody. Doing everything. Adding new this, adding new that. He comes to people, he comes to a particular host. Hey, we just won the world championship in Philly when it comes to views and everything. Hey, Sills, I want you to take a 25% pay cut. Why? You gave everybody else a raise. Take it or leave it. Shit. Did I help you this year? Yeah. I wonder how Dallas Goedert feels. Being the only guy that took a pay cut this year off of that entire championship football team. Even the guys that left got pay increases. Damn. Howie season. You want to know how to take advantage of somebody? Without further ado, those guys create wonderful topics because I got another one here for them too. Look at this. I got this thing over here, and I just want, hey, I'm not looking to indict anybody. I'm just asking a question. Without further ado, one of my favorite shows, Birds 365, the co-host, Big G, Xander Krause.
What's up, Big Sills? How you doing, brother?
How you doing, brother? So let me ask you what the incentive is for Dallas Goedert to play through injury, knowing that I may have to make a business decision if I get hurt, because same way Barkley shut down his last 3 games in New York because he had a business decision to make because he knew he was going on the free agent market. I mean, how do you think that relationship is moving forward between Goedert and the Eagles?
I don't think it's anything bad. I think he's trying to capitalize on this year and go and get a good season so he can make a big contract next year, or at least get a 1-year deal that's worth a lot of money. He's only going to be 31 next offseason. So I think he'll have a chance to make a lot of money. I hear what you're saying.
You wouldn't be insulted taking less money.
The comp doesn't add up, though, because that doesn't change the cap. You know, like there is still a cap that you have to fit in. Even if you have record profits for the business, that doesn't mean the cap is record for you. So it's not the perfect comp, but I hear what you're saying. And yeah, I mean, I'm a little surprised, but I don't know if there was a better alternative for Goedert. I really don't. And because of that, I think he's going to take the pay cut. He's going to go out there. He's going to do good things. And if he's successful, he'll be able to parlay that into a bigger deal for sure.
Okay. Now, I want you to help me out on something here. So I drew something up here. And I want to show you this.
Not the scratch. Not the chicken scratch.
I just want to show you here. Okay. So that is nickel. Now, according to John McMullen, your cohort and co-host, okay, Nakobe Dean and Zach Bond aren't coming off the field in nickel, correct?
That's what he says, yeah.
So Jahad Campbell's playing at defensive end, and Moro Jomo's coming off. Is that right?
That's what it seems like to me, yeah.
Okay.
Or Jalix. Take Jalix off. One or the other.
Well, Jalix ain't starting. I mean, you got Nolan Smith on the other side.
Yeah. You know, a whiteboard costs like $38. Like let's get you.
No, but you know, because I'm a simple man, and as you know, I'm not
it's
like
$38. Like, bro, like I'll Venmo you. $38.
Wait a minute here.
Get to the store and pick up a whiteboard. 38 beans, bro.
I'm a simple fella. I got to do things old school here. So see that?
Oh man.
Nolan Smith's there at the end. He's down there at the end, and there's Carter, and there's Davis, and there's Morrow.
Yeah,
there's
I see
Cooper,
it.
Q. Okay, all right.
It's a good defense, man. That thing is damn near closer to no holes.
Okay, so that's what you're saying. So here is your dime Vic Fangio scheme. So the dime will have Nolan Smith at end, Davis at tackle, Carter at DT, and Moro Jomo. And your backers will be Dean, Bond, according to John. Your nickel is Cooper. Keeley's your corner, and Reed. So Moro Jomo comes off the field again in dime, right?
What's dime? 60 backs?
It's more. It's 1, 2, 3, 4. It's like 5 guys in the middle of the field. It's like a 4-2. It's like a 4-5-2. See it? 4. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 5. See the 5 in the middle of the field? 4 up front.
Yeah, I got you. I got you.
Okay.
So is it technically 60 backs?
Yeah, it's like that.
Yeah. All right.
Okay. So
yeah, so I get a little lost. I'm not gonna lie to everybody. Like I know football well, but some of the fucking terminology that they use.
That's why I drew out the schemes.
Yeah, because I'd like to. You're right. That's how I like to look at it. But yeah, no, I got you. I mean, yeah, that's probably where they're gonna put him. I'm with you more, where I'm like, I don't really see it as much as John does. John's like, it's easy to get him on the field. I'm like, really? It's not that easy.
So this is Vic Fangio's 2 high safety. Now this is a little more complicated because you got an end, you got 2 tackles, and you got another end. It's like a 4-front. Then look, you got your corners up, you got a Mike, you got another Mike, and you got a nickel, and you got two high. So where's he coming off there in 2 high safety? Moro Jomo again?
Probably.
Okay.
Probably.
Okay. Here's my point. So he's not a first and second down player? Because here's base. Here's the base. There's your cat. There's your nose. There's Carter. There's Jomo. There's your corners. There's your Mike. There's your Bond. There's your free, and there's your strong. Where's he playing in base?
Base, he might not be on the field.
So you drafted a guy to play third down.
Well, hear me out. What best case scenario, you're taking the second edge off the field for him. So
you're taking Smith off the field.
No, who's the other edge?
Look, there it is. There's your base right there.
Dude,
your
I can't
edge,
read that.
Moro Jomo. You got your nose Davis. You've got your defensive end, Carter. And your cat outside is going to be Nolan Smith. Bro, where the fuck are you putting him? That's not that hard.
The end opposite
There's four
of
guys
is where
up
you're
front. There's a cat, there's an end, there's a nose, there's an end. Moro, Jomo, and Carter right here in this one are your ends. You tell me. I just wanted. Hey, I'm not debating if he's going to.
No, I hear you. It's definitely a little bit of an interesting thing for sure. I mean, I think Clancy actually said something good. They're drafting good football players, but you are right. It does bring up a question. They're not as much plug and play guys. So what does that mean for the defense? I think the good news is we got the architect. We got the right guy who is in control of that. With Vic Fangio.
You sound just like John McMullen's like this. What?
Nah, bro, these dudes in the chat have me cracking up, man. I can't stop. You're showing me chicken scratch on paper on a half a screen. That's a half of my computer screen. You got me losing my vision, man, trying to read that thing. Oh, man.
Listen, you blew my ears out this morning trying to tell me where you're fucking playing them. I didn't know what you were talking about. And get this. What I'm doing here is I'm not putting him in a position either. I'm just trying to find out where he's going to play nickel, dime, base, and 2 high. And according to John, they're not taking Bond or N'Kobe off the field. Okay. So that means he's going to play.
It's one of the front guys. It's one of the front guys.
Who, Carter or Davis or Moro Jomo or Nolan Smith? Who are you taking off?
Jomo.
So you drafted
But if it's a rushing down, you're taking off Davis you're taking off a Jomo, and then you're putting a Jomo on for Davis. So you'd shuffle, you take off Davis.
So you slide it down, you're going to have a substitution like that way.
Well, 3rd and 10, you're not keeping Davis on the field.
I'm not the right. Hey, again, this is not an indictment. This is trying to figure out.
It is, yeah. I think it's a fair question. What's your
I'm
boy Clint say?
What do you think the guy's role is going to be this year, JAKIB Campbell?
I don't know what it's going to be this year. I mean, when are you projecting he's healthy?
Mid, probably week 8. I don't think that's
late.
Wrong.
Week 8's pretty late. I mean,
okay. Do you think? How about this? You want to go 6? You want to go 6?
You're probably looking at a very minimal impact year 1 if he doesn't get on the field till week 8.
Is that a problem?
Well, not. I mean, it is for this year, but it's not on the player. I mean, you're not going to indict the player after 1 year, but for the 2025 defense, it could be a problem unless you come out and you got, Jalix Hunt's taking the next step. Nolan Smith's taking another step forward. More of a Jomo is filling in nicely for Milton Williams. And, Keely Ringo is not a trash can. I mean, but that's a big hope. There's a lot of hope there.
Don't you think that Nolan Smith and N'Kobe Dean, depending on what kind of skill set JAKIB Campbell has, is going to be a debate at the end of the year for the Eagles on which guy they want to move forward with? Because that guy's got to fill a role somewhere. I mean, he's got to play somewhere.
Right.
So what are you going to do with him?
Right.
Okay. So here,
look, if he doesn't line up on the edge, this is trouble. Especially this year. Like 26. I'd rather have him where Dean is too. But did you hear John? John acted like I was crazy for saying take N'Kobe Dean off. I mean, he looked at me like I was bonkers.
Well, here, if you're going to not bring him back after 26, what's not the point of putting him in now and getting him acclimated now? Wasn't that the big bitch in 23 that you weren't playing enough young players? Why not drop the kid in there now and start playing his ass in there in 25 here and get him acclimated to playing inside? Because to me, that's
if he's not healthy. If he's not healthy, that answers itself. But if he is healthy, then we'll see. I mean, I am interested, but again, I do think it's a good problem to have. Like, we have a problem here where we have too much talent. Who do you put on the bench? The word problem still exists in that, but I'd rather be that than the Dallas Cowboys. And you're like, who the hell is on my defensive line?
Listen here, ding dongs. Listen here. They picked a Pope today. The way Big Sills draws up on paper.
About that Pope.
Me too, man. I don't know about the
Big
Chicago thing, but because hopefully he's not a Bears fan. But hey,
listen, it's a historic day. It's a meaningful day for
totally
Catholics, for Christians, for I think anybody around the world. First American, Sills, send chills down my spine, brother. But I get a kick out of it too. The other thing I don't like about the discourse that we've reached too now is like people turn the Pope thing into political. I'm like, guys, the Pope isn't supposed to align with you politically. The church has been standing for 2,000 years. Your country's only been here for 250 years. Shut up about where they are, liberal, conservative. Be a vicar of Christ on earth. Lead people to heaven and to Jesus Christ. That's what I want the Pope to be, not sit on the Senate. I mean, come on, people.
I had a tear in my eye today when the Pope was elected. So whatever that means to you, but to me, it has a lot of significance in my family. So, I mean, it always has. All right. So hook me up here on I heard John say that Bryce Huff wasn't the greatest disaster in the history of the Philadelphia Eagles. So I would just got a couple questions here on that one here.
John's really riding for Huff, huh, man?
Hold on here. I got a question here. So, okay, is there room for him? So here, Nolan Smith, Felix Hunt, Jihad Campbell, Azeez Ojulari, Joshua Uche, and then there's Bryce Huff. Who am I taking reps for away in my player development of Nolan Smith, Felix Hunt, or Jihad Campbell? Where am I putting that?
Today? You're really looking. You're really on one today.
I'm just asking you, where's the room for him?
For who?
Bryce Huff.
Huff is gone. Huff is going to be. Huff will be discarded.
Whoa.
Like James Bradbury was. They're not going to get rid. They're not going to cut him. They're not going to trade him because Howie won't do that. He's going to be James Bradbury. I'm calling it now. John can tell us all he wants. He's going to be this. No. Vic Fangio looked at that dude and said, "That guy stinks. I can't do shit with him. Get him out of my defense." So my prediction on Huff is that he'll be scratched, benched, and you won't even see him. You'll forget he exists by week 4.
Week 4. Okay. There's no difference between Bryce Huff and Azeez Ojulari. Ojulari's a better player. He's been more consistent in his career. I'm going to play him more than I am Huff. I mean, dude, the guy's been 6, 8, 9, 5 in his entire career in New York. Do you know what Huff was? 2, 1, 3, 10, 2. I mean, hey, dude. I mean, there's no room. And the only reason he's on the team is, watch me here, 51 million clams. Disaster.
And we still won the Super Bowl.
No shit. Shows you how great of a job that guy Vic says, I don't care how much you make, where you're drafted. If you're a free agent,
also
you're the best guy plays.
Also shows you how good they've been drafting, Mr. Sileo.
Well, the guy who took the spot for the guy who they signed wasn't a draft pick. Zach Bond turned out to be the replace. They wanted Bryce Huff to be what Bond was on the edge. That's what they wanted him.
Well, yeah, but they moved Bond off.
They wanted production. Hey, get this.
They definitely wanted. They didn't pay him $18 million for no production.
Hey, everybody took a shit on Hassan Reddick. Reddick sucked in 23. He sucked to the tune of 11.5 sacks with a cast on his hand for 4 weeks.
Yeah.
I mean, bro, Bryce Huff will never be the worst of what Hassan Reddick was. So I don't think there's room for him. I don't know what they're going to do with him. I wouldn't spend, like you said, I would deactivate that guy the entire season unless it was some sort of break glass disaster and somebody was hurt. Don't you agree? What's the point of playing him?
Right.
I'm not taking, by the way, what's the role of Felix Hunt?
I think it's bigger than we're thinking right now because I'm not anticipating.
See what he
Bryce
didn't
Huff
want to
winning.
do? He didn't want to say it's bigger than Nolan Smith, but that's all right. I know
That's not what I was going to say. That's not what I was going to say.
Yeah,
If you have Bryce Huff though that's playing and is a viable player, then you're not going to see that much of Jalix Hunt outside of a rotational role. I think Jalix Hunt's going to be your second edge this year. Last year, after week 8, it was Nolan and Josh. It's going to be Nolan and Jalix this year, I think.
2 last ones here for you, Junior.
Yeah, I got to run. I got a busy day today.
CBS versus Big Sills.
Uh-oh.
The number 1 rated quarterback, according to CBS, after the NFL draft is Jaden Daniels. Me?
Who put that?
I don't know. CBS did that. I didn't do that. I put Josh Allen there.
So it's just a quarterback list, right? That's what we're doing here?
Power list for QBs.
Where'd you have Hurts?
We're going to get there.
7?
CBS had Jalen Hurts number 2.
What? This is a stupid list.
Hold on. Big Sills had Joe Burrow number 2. Yeah, it's posted. Number 3. CBS had Joe Burrow number 3.
Well, are you looking at a list for fantasy?
I'm looking at power rankings.
You're looking at a fantasy list.
I'm looking at power rankings. Post-draft NFL power rankings. Commanders. Jalen Hurts leads the way. There it is. Power rankings.
Got it.
There you go. Number 4. Lamar Jackson. Number 4. Big Sills had Jaden Daniels. Best QB in the NFC East. Number 5. CBS had Josh Allen. Number 5. Big Sills had Jalen Hurts. I told you will never see a list with quarterbacks' names on it without him in my top 5. You just will never. You're
not going to hold to that.
Oh, I will.
It's going to be week 5. He's going to throw for 118 yards in week 4. And you're going to rank him as your 18th best quarterback in the NFL. Stop, Sileo. Don't even wedge yourself into that corner. You'll never put him lower in the top 5.
I'm not setting anybody up. I don't set anybody up. You kidding me?
Eagles fan, I wouldn't even say that. If he stinks out loud, he could fall out of the top 5.
I got a last one for you here, Junior, before you head out there.
That's a bad. Let me just call out the person who made that list.
Oh, shit,
yours was okay. I didn't have a problem with yours.
Dude, I got Allen, Burrow, Mahomes, Daniels, and Hurts. Those are the 5 best I got Hurts ranked ahead of Lamar, Matthew Stafford, Goff. I got him ahead of Lamar Jackson.
Fair.
Right?
I think your list was a lot better than CBS's.
Stupid. Jaden Daniels 1 year. You're going to name him ahead of Mahomes. What are you, dumb?
Cody Benjamin. Let's put him on the shit list.
He's probably 14 years old. Hey, so here's the last one. All right, Junior. Since 2021, who is the most important Philadelphia Eagle between these 3 men? Jalen Hurts, A.J. Brown, and Saquon Barkley. By the way, for the record, since 21, the Eagles are 39-12 with Brown on the field, and they are 24-28-1 when he's not in the lineup. A.J. Brown has been a winner since he's been here. And by the way, he's the best blocking wide receiver in pro football, and I do not believe it's close. Every single guy he's blocked for 5 years in a row, Derrick Henry, Miles Sanders, DeAndre Swift, and now Saquon Barkley, 4, all had career years when he was on the field. And he produced 3 of the greatest wide receiver years in Philadelphia Eagle history. So, his impact is clearly felt. Who do you think is the most important Eagle to winning? A.J. Brown, Barkley, who delivered a Super Bowl, or Jalen Hurts?
This is a very tough answer. All right. Because obviously this team can't win when A.J. Brown's not out there, as indicated by the record that you put up, as indicated by what they look like when he doesn't play. But I have a hard time putting a wide receiver before a quarterback simply because of the impact that quarterbacks have on the game. And then the other hard thing is Saquon Barkley. I mean, this guy showed up and, everything, it was like bliss in Philadelphia. How can
They changed everything.
Right. How can I downplay that? So I want to go Jalen 1. He's the quarterback. So I have a hard time not putting him 1.
I got that. I'm just saying, though, did they not change the offense, though, to tailor make it towards the running back instead of the quarterback? And you want to hear something with AJ? In a full game, with AJ and Hurts on the field, they were undefeated 18-0 last year.
That's true.
I mean, it's a really, even.
Did you give your answer?
No.
You didn't earlier?
I said Barkley.
Yeah, I'm thinking might be Barkley. But now you're going to have me putting A.J. Brown third.
The quarterback position, there's no doubt. And then somebody brought this into the question. Who's more replaceable of those three?
Well, let me ask you this, all right? Because I understand that when Saquon showed up, we won the Super Bowl. But in 22, we didn't have Saquon. And in 22, that was one of the better offenses we've seen in Philly in a long time.
No doubt.
So if that team, without Saquon, had a better defense in the Super Bowl, would they have won?
Yes.
Right. So while I know Saquon's important, this team was still really good without him.
AJ was on that 22 team, though.
And AJ was a big part of that. So because this exercise doesn't include any defense, holy shit, I can't have Saquon Barkley third, though.
Oh, and AJ's importance to that unit. They were 9-8 before he showed up. They were 9-8.
Give me Jalen, give me Saquon, then give me AJ.
Wow. I think, again, I don't know.
How can I put the quarter? Because if I go the other way, if I go Saquon or AJ at 1, I can't put one of them at 3. The team misses them too much.
I get it.
So now I'm going to have, let's just say I went Saquon, AJ, and Jalen. I don't know if that makes much sense.
And you're not going to.
I don't think this team would have that level of success in the last 3 years without Jalen Hurts.
Do you think?
You could argue that his team is really good and that helps him, but that's not the point.
No, but here,
yeah,
do you think they win the Super Bowl if AJ Brown is not on the field?
No.
Do you think they win the Super Bowl if Barkley's not on the field?
No. The whole season? No.
Do you think they win the Super Bowl if Hurts isn't on the field?
No.
Well, Hurts wasn't that, but here's why. Again, conversation, not just, let me ask this here. Jalen really, in the playoffs, I mean, that Rams game, or that was it the Green Bay game, or was the Rams game? He wasn't asked to do anything in that game.
Jalen didn't do much in the Packers game either, the playoff game. Don't you remember what the talk?
Oh yeah, that's right.
He had like 120.
The Packer game, he had 90 yards like net pass.
He had like 120, maybe with the sacks. But Brady, I mean, here's what I don't like about revisionist history. Fans now act like that didn't happen. Brady on the telecast in the fourth quarter of that game when the Eagles had already won
said they need more.
Tom Brady. Okay, don't listen to me. Listen to the greatest player to ever grace the league.
That's
said,
right.
If this team can't pass the ball effectively, they're going to have a hard time scoring points, and they're going to have a hard time going to the Super Bowl. Now, the passing game got better, so they won.
Great pull, buddy.
You can't get rid of that. You know that those first two playoff games were ugly, real ugly.
Great pull by you. But again, I'm not dismissing the fact that, and you don't penalize Jalen for having a good team around him. My God, everybody strives to have a good team around their quarterback. That's why you draft people and sign people. However, boy, I'll tell you, man, A.J. Brown and Saquon Barkley, those guys in that huddle. Let me ask you this last one here. If you have AJ,
do you want me to give you my final? I think this is
yeah, please.
My final is Jalen Hurts 1, A.J. Brown 2, and Saquon Barkley 3.
Okay.
I saw the team have too much success in 22 without Barkley. Okay. And I don't believe you have that without both Jalen and AJ. Now, did Barkley bring them over the top? Yes. But the question was level of importance.
That's right.
This team changed when AJ Brown showed up.
That's right.
This team also changed when AJ Brown elevated the quarterback to a new level. Because Jalen's the quarterback, he's 1. AJ's 2 because we can't seem to win when he's not on the field. And Saquon is 3. I know that sounds crazy. I would go 1A, 1B, 1C here, but I can't. So
if Jalen Hurts wasn't the starting quarterback of the Philadelphia Eagles, would they win 10 games with the current roster?
They might win 10 games. They ain't doing anything in the playoffs.
I'm okay. Well, I'll tell you what. Name me another football team that will win 10 games. They lose their quarterback.
Probably the Lions.
Maybe, because they got a big running attack.
Depends. I think the factor there's a factor in this equation here where most backup quarterbacks in the league think are stiffs, and in Philly, I'm not saying we think they're great, but we do think they're competent enough to get our guys the ball.
Oh, I completely do.
Right with Tanner McKay. So I don't know who the backup quarterback is in Detroit at all. Who is it?
I don't know.
If he sucks, if it's
Josh
I think
it's the kid from Tennessee, that kid Hendon.
Josh Dobbs?
No, that Hendon kid. Remember that kid?
Hendon Hooker. Hendon Hooker. Yeah,
Hendon Hooker. I think it's him up there. That kid from Tennessee.
He transferred from Virginia Tech to Tennessee.
Yeah, right on. I think it's that kid. Yeah. I could see
the Lions. The Niners is a good one, DL. I don't really think Purdy's all that. I used to like him a lot, but you got to pay him $60 million. Good night. I'm not doing that. Bears, maybe, but Bears don't win. I mean, come on. So we can't include them. Commanders, hell no. Bills, hell no. Bills would maybe barely win 3 games without Josh Allen. He is like literally that whole team. Chiefs would suck. The Chiefs would actually
4 games.
Think about that roster without Patrick Mahomes. If you looked at that collection of receivers, those running backs, you would say, "What is this
old tight end?" They win 5 games.
Stinks. So Chiefs would be awful. The Bengals were already not good enough, and they had Joe Burrow. They might not win a game if they didn't have Joe Burrow. Yeah, I mean, look, you bring up a good point. The Eagles have built a really good roster, a really good team. That by the way, does have a facet to them where they don't rely on the quarterback at all. Like, that's the other thing about some of those other teams. Like, you can't say it about the Bengals or about the Bills because they don't have a running game that operates outside of Jalen Hurts. Like, Jalen Hurts helps the running game, but the running game thrives because of the offensive line and because of the talent of the running back. Jalen helps it for sure, but you're still going to have that without Jalen Hurts. So it's a tough conversation. What were your 3?
My 3, what?
Your 3 for the importance on the Eagles.
I got Barkley 1. I've got AJ 2, and I got Jalen 3. Now, I will put an asterisk on this. I think Jalen is so important to the run game. And he is, Jalen's importance to the passing game last year was not a factor. Jalen's importance to the run game, along with AJ. See, here's why AJ's a tough call. Every single place he's been, Xander, he's been part of a dominant running attack with 4 different dudes. And he's produced the greatest years in wide receiver history in Philadelphia.
Yeah. I agree. I agree with you too. Like, I put Saquon 3. You think I liked putting Saquon 3? No, I wanted to put him 1.
Right.
It's just hard to do. But I get where you're coming from. I mean, I hear you.
Make sure you tell John. Take this little big sills chicken scratch. Just let me know what's up because I'll be watching.
Let me get to make sure we got some super chats.
All right. All I'm telling you, kid. All I'm telling you. Just let me know where you're going to play them.
What's more important than Dallas triplets? I don't even know what that means.
Dallas's defense. Aikman, Emmett, and Irvin were the best, but the old line. By the way, just so you know, Matt D, I believe the Philadelphia Eagles have a better old line than the Dallas Cowboy 3-time Super Bowl champion offensive line. And I played against that old line, practiced against that old line, and I believe the Eagles have a better old line than the Dallas Cowboy old line. There's too many great players on it. There's just too. I mean, that's the best offensive line I've seen in my lifetime. Outside of the, it's the best old line I've ever seen. It's Xander. I thought your 17 O line was the best.
Nah, last year was better.
Without Kelsey.
Yeah, that's got to hurt. Dirty D says AJ, Saquon, Jalen. Saquon is at 2 instead of 3 because of his leadership. I got no problem with that list. I got no problem with any order. All right.
Yeah, look, Jalen weaves it together. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, look, I know people like to say Jalen has a great team around him, but like if anybody really believes we would win the Super Bowl without Jalen Hurts, I think you're dumb. Like, come on, that's not happening. That's not happening. Now, you might think the team helps him more than other places. For sure, it does. We got a great roster.
But you brought
something. Not winning the Super Bowl if he's not on.
Yeah, but you brought something up a week ago, which can never, ever, ever, ever not be part of it. Hey, Sells, how many players have great players around their team and don't win? Everyone, except the guy in Philly. He won with them. So there's got to be a merit badge to that. He delivered it. Okay, he has a great team. Well, he won, and he's been there twice.
Right, exactly.
I mean, there's got to be an underlying.
People that don't win without a great team don't make it easier. The conversation easier. Dio got that one. Dirty D says we put up 48 points with Kenny Pickett and McKinney.
Yeah, okay.
Diaz says birds have modern era triplets. Love this up.
Yo,
if it's Nickel, is Davis on the field?
Oh,
probably not.
Jalen Hurts, Troy Aikman, Michael Irvin, A.J. Brown, Barkley, and Emmett. I think that's what he was talking. I'd probably take Emmett because Emmett's the greatest running back of all time. Okay? Emmett's the greatest running back. He's got almost 20,000 rushing yards. What the hell do you want?
Is he your top running back of all time?
Man, 3 Super Bowl wins, an MVP, all-time rusher. In high school, he went for 13,000 yards.
If I took stats away, how would you answer this question? Like, forget stats and accolades. Who's the running back that you watched and you were like, holy shit, that guy is the best running back I've ever seen play? Strictly eye test.
Eric Dickerson.
Eric Dickerson. Wow, good one.
I played against him. And bro, he's 6'4". When he got through that line of scrimmage, I mean, I've never seen anything like it. He's best. I mean, Herschel was probably the best athlete.
Barry, a lot of Barry in the chat.
Barry was great. Bo Jackson I played against too. Bo was sensational.
Jim Brown.
Before my time, but
no, that's true. He was way old.
Here's the one thing. In 9 years, Jim Brown, 8 years, he led the NFL in rushing. And he's the only player to have 100 yards per game as a running back in pro football history. And he retired at 28. So, I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, right. I hear you.
Now, different dudes. You got white guys that are 205 pounds playing D-line. So, I don't know. And you rolled up your helmet, put it in your back pocket, and he's running.
I got to run. I got to post up something. I got.
All right, man. All right. Hey, you make sure you tell John McMullen I love him. I don't want him to think anything. Can
I get you guys on the show together? Or are you guys so afraid of each other? No, it's good content and it's good for the network. I'm making you do it.
It's that's me. I'm afraid.
I'm going on strike on paying you until you get Johnny Mac. Can the business go on strike? Forget the employees going on strike. Can I go on strike? Johnny Mac and Sills will make content together again.
Man, I'll see, man. I don't know. I really do. I tell you what, I dig him. because I love how he does
You
it.
don't. You're a wimp. You're afraid to be
Oh, my
challenged
wimp.
by the McMullenister.
Oh, yeah. The last time we were on together, it was almost fisticuffs. Ah, you son of a. Xander, I love you, brother. I'll be watching I love that show, man. Hey,
all right,
brother,
brother, I appreciate it. Thanks, everybody.
It.
See you.
You got it. That is our good friend, Xander Krause. All right, Big Sil's got to take a time out here. Do me a favor, folks. Don't forget our great friends at Morgan & Morgan, the #1 injury law firm in the country with over thousands of attorneys from coast to coast. What's the most important thing they do? They win. Family-oriented. You saw Clancy on with us earlier. He is your crime fighter. Clancy Bolan was on earlier with us. We appreciated him stepping in with us. By the way, the official home of the Philadelphia 76ers and law firm is Morgan & Morgan. Make sure if you're ever injured, do me a favor. Check out forthepeople.com/big sales pound law 529. That's FORthepeople.com/big sales or pound law 529. And do me a favor. You tell them Big Sil sent you.
This is Eric. When he got injured in a car accident, he called Morgan & Morgan. He not only gets a lawyer, he gets trial lawyers like Sam and Jessica who are in it to win it. He gets his own investigators with briefcases, leather ones. And if you ever have questions, our customer service folks keep things rolling. Injured? We're your army. Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm.
Your financial future is on the line. Are you ready for what's next? At Leone & Company Wealth Management, we help young professionals, business owners, and pre-retirees navigate the complexities of building and protecting wealth. For young professionals, we'll help you grow your wealth, plan for your future, and make the most of your hard-earned dollars. For business owners, we provide strategies to protect your company, manage risks, and create a lasting legacy for both your business and personal wealth. For pre-retirees, we'll design a plan to secure your retirement, ensuring you can live comfortably and confidently in your next chapter. Whether you're just starting out, managing a thriving business, or preparing for retirement, we're here to help you take control of your financial future. The first consultation is on us. Get the advice you need without the cost. Let's make your financial vision a reality. Take the next step. Scan the QR code to schedule your free consultation today. And of course, go Birds.
Field of life, First Trust Bank is there for you.
Champions on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Because Philadelphia dreams deserve a Philadelphia bank.
In our hometown, we all look out for each other. We step up to keep our communities going strong. And at Independence Blue Cross, we're here to keep you going strong as the #1 health insurer in the region. No IBX is always looking out for you.
You imagine being Tom Brady and texting Shedeur Sanders during the nuclear fallout of his draft status, and he's texting him throughout the draft process, hey, don't worry about it. Wait for your opportunity. You know, that's pretty cool in hindsight that he could do that. But here's a guy that was drafted in the 6th round. And can you imagine this? You know you're better than everybody. You know in your soul you're going to be the best player to ever live. And people are doubting you. And He was just waiting for an opportunity. What if he would have went to Cleveland? What if he would have went to the Jets? Right? What if he was gone anywhere else? Get this. Here is, once again, shit 23. No. Hey, shit 23. It's not confusion, guy. Here, what I'll do is I'll draw it out a little bit bigger for you because of your incompetence and how absolutely stupid you are. So here, I'll make it so it's not. And I'll make sure that I put a Picasso into it so that it's okay for you, shit 23. Here we go. Free safety. Strong safety, shit stain. Cornerback, CB. And B, nickel. M, Mike. W, Will. It's not confusion, kid. That's why you never played. It probably is confusion to you. Okay? And by the way, I have learned a defense. I played it. DE. Defensive end. Nose tackle. DT. D. E. Nickel. So I did it like Picasso would. There, right there is your nickel defense. There's all the positions. Not hard to read unless you're an imbecile, which Spit or M. Reyes, I'm sure you're an imbecile. So for those of you not an imbecile, where are you putting your boy Jihad Campbell? Where are you put him? Here. I'm trying to talk slower for some of you. So I'll do this. I feel like I'm doing a skit with Tim Conway back in the day. Hold on. Reed Blankenship. Brown. Q. Koopa. Nakobe. Bond. Ajajoma. Davis. Carter. And Smith. I don't know how some of you imbeciles can't read. I just asked a simple question. Where are you putting the kid? And if somebody says, well, we're going to make him a joker. Okay. Who comes off the field? There's only 11 positions. Where does he play? Hey, dude, I'm imagining for you that's probably an everyday thing. You probably wake up to Sesame Street. Mr. International, my favorite show is like the Electric Company. Yeah, Mr. International's got an Etch-a-Sketch. See, I'm unlike you guys. I don't have like whiteboards and all that other fancy stuff. I'm just a simple old sales guy who does a show Monday through Friday here. By the way, CRC3, what he says, that Miami education, 16% admittance to Miami. I got in. I got in because of my intellect. 16%. Actually, let me double check that. I'm going to double check because I want to make sure, because nowadays you get called on shit. What was the acceptance for the University of Miami? Acceptance for the University of Miami. Let's see here. Acceptance rate, University of Miami. Oh, excuse me. It's 18.9. I'm like a scholar. 18.9% people get into the University of Miami, and yours truly got in. How's that possible, Mr. International? How's that possible? That Big Sills got into a school that had 18% admittance. I'd have been pretty good at football. I'd have been pretty good at football, don't you think? Hey, Sills, man, he ain't quite the scholar, but I'll tell you what, that kid can play some ball, man. All right, he's admitted. Okay. Hey, you either want me, hey, you want Big Sills the way it is. Yeah. Hey, Mr. International, I know, man. It's all good. Sills, what's wrong with just having Dean and Jihad be rotational? Because, once again, that means you overdrafted him. Dude, he's the 31st pick in the draft. If you got him situational, that's not a first rounder. Situational players are third rounders, not first round picks. You're a gentleman with a scholar. No, that's the guys over at the yacht club today, hanging out with cricket guys. I don't even know if I've ever seen cricket played. I've seen polo. I won't lie. I've been to a polo thing down in Miami and also up in Connecticut. I've seen a couple. Me and my aunt and my uncle and my grandparents used to drive by a place on the way to Danbury. There's a cricket club up there somewhere. Let's see here. Big Sills, if the Eagles repeat, you get a Howie Vision tattoo on your chest. Not happening. Not happening. Let's see here. Sills would make a great Penguin. I'm not really a good skater, you know? So I don't think I'd want to play with Sidney Crosby. I'd play with Matthews, though, up in Toronto. I'd play with him. But a Penguin, nah. I'm not really. I've been not, ever since like Mario Lemieux owned the team, probably, because I don't know what you're talking about, Junior. My ex went to Miami. You could stop with the noise. She couldn't use a dryer. Who says I can? Wow. Nicely done there. Hey, Harrison Buckner, nice job. My ex went to Miami and she couldn't use a dryer. What's next? What'd you do? Beat her? She spilt milk? Hey, honey, here's an iron for Mother's Day. Way to go, dog. Hey, Daz, what'd you get your old lady for like Mother's Day? Let me guess. Frying pans. Hey, what am I getting for Mother's Day? I got you a bunch of frying pans and aprons. Yeah. And by the way, I got you a nice egg timer. Nice job, dude. This guy goes, yeah, man, she couldn't operate a dryer. Oh, geez, sorry about that, dog. I mean, hell, obviously she mowed the lawn, right? I get overdraft part, but with Dean's injury, it's not a guarantee he recovers from what he was. Well, he's not going to get healthier. Okay. Isn't it better to have Jihad and not, quote unquote, need him? No, man. When you draft a dude 31st, I want him to start for me. I want him to produce for me. To say this, well, I'll play him if I need him. Why do that? Why would I want that? Right? Hey, what'd you get me for Mother's Day? I got you an egg timer and a blender. Oh, wow. Why did you get me a blender? For milkshakes. I don't drink milkshakes. I know. Oh, man. This guy's going like, but Daz, I mean, it must have been a rough house in that baby. Holy cow. I don't know, man. Yeah, so no, I was just trying to, like I said, see, I'm a simple dude. I just want to know where people play. You know, you got this. Well, don't give them a position. Okay. I'm not gonna. Okay. When the quarterback says hut, where's he lined up? Hut. Oh, no, not at all. Hey, you want to get under Cowboy fans? Just do this. Just say this. The last time the Cowboys were relevant, like MySpace was a deal. They still had paid telephones at the airport. Cell phones were just coming around to having cameras on them. We were still flying the space shuttle. Let me think. When Cowboy fans were last relevant, Bill Clinton was in the White House with, Monica. The closet room. Let's see here. And let me think. What else was popular? Or maybe still around. Sears and Roebuck still had a catalog. Sharper Image was around. Let's see here. That's the last time the Cowboys were relevant. Oh, and Hillary was halfway decent looking. I'll take heat for that later. Oh my God! Hey, Cowboy fans, really? What could you possibly? You know what I love this week about the Cowboy fan? Okay, here's the thing about Cowboy fans: George Pickens has changed. Can you believe it, man? And I'm like, George Pickens has changed the landscape of the Dallas Cowboys to where they're going to win how many games? 8? 7? Well, Sills, they'll be better having Dak back. Do you understand? That's true. But they're lesser. They have no running game. They have no O-line. They drafted a kid from Alabama. That's not fixing your problems. The guy a year ago stunk in Tyler Guyton. Their D-line stinks, and they're going to overpay Micah Parsons. Get this. You're going to pay a guy $40 million a year, and he will have no impact on your run defense. How's that financial? Get this. Think about where the Eagles are going to go. The Eagles are going to sign Jalen Carter, right? $40 million, maybe $35, $40 million. Ask yourself this. How much of an impact do you think he has in your run defense? A ton? I do. How much do you think he has an impact in your pass rush? A ton? I think so. Micah Parsons. How much of an impact do you think he has in his run defense? Nothing. Zero. Why am I paying $40 million for that guy? Because he's a good pass rusher? Trey Hendrickson's a good pass rusher. He had 17 sacks. It meant nothing to Cincinnati's horrible defense. Meant nothing. That's why the Cowboys are the Cowboys right now. Here, look at the two things the Cowboys are. Xander, think of this one here. Everyone. So the Eagles haven't invested a ton of money in your edge rushers, right? Right? Cowboys have. The Eagles have invested a lot in the interior of their defense. Inside, tackles. Carter, first rounder. Davis, first rounder. Bond, $17 million. Dean, a third rounder. What have the Cowboys done? Lazy Smith, and what else? Nothing. The Eagles are building the defense from the heart of the defense. Look at where they're spending money. Nickel, linebacker, tackle, and up top, they're keeping the safeties intact. They're strong up the middle of the defense. Cowboys aren't. They're strong on the perimeter of their defense. 2 corners and a pass rusher. You know how you beat the Cowboys? Run at them. I'm going to beat the Dallas Cowboys running at them. They're not that hard to beat. Dallas can't sustain the pressure Philly will put on them. Here's what has to happen. The Cowboys got to pray that that defense for the Eagles is not very good this year. For them to be in a game with them. And Dak has to rip them a new one. Now, Dak is 9-4 versus Philly. And that's not the same group. The different football team. He's got to hope. That's not a strategy, hoping for something to happen. People sit around and hope. It never comes. At least in football. The Eagles are strong in the lines. The Cowboys are not. The Cowboys have flash players. Quarterback, wide receiver, and edge. Great. And pay money at the corners. The Eagles have almost $100 million lined up in their O-line. If I'm going to spend money, it's there. By the way, the job that they do every year at creating a Pro Bowl type player at right guard, and they move that player out every year, is insane. It's absolutely insane. The Cowboys are nowhere near what Philadelphia does. Oh, I think he's going to beat out Trotter. Hey, Kimbo, I wouldn't be shocked. Samil Mandan, I think if this kid is what I think he is, and the only reason that he went in later rounds, and I think he's a hell of a player, he could be the biggest impact rookie that you have this year. As a matter of fact, Kimbo, I'll make a prediction. Let's write this down. May 8th. This kid right here will make the biggest impact on your football team this year. Only because Jihad Campbell probably get there week 6 to 8. This kid will make your biggest impact. He'll make the biggest impact. He's a really good football player. Yeah. Well, we'll see if he can beat out Sidney Brown. I have a hard time with the guy. Again, not that Sidney's not that hard to beat out. I don't think it will be. There's a difference between hope and vision. I think vision and hope are the same. There's not a big difference. You're envisioning that you hope something turns out. A vision thinks is something that's certainty. If you have a vision on something, there's no certainty of vision. You can have what a company should look like or what a show should sound like, or you can have a vision on what you think things should be placed in and how it looks. But that again is all, again, it's projecting. You have no here's something that's not vision. Is Lane Johnson a good player? Yeah. Is Landon? Yeah. Is AJ? Yeah. That's not vision. You know what vision means to me? Unknown. You know what hope means to me? Unknown. South said his best right guard he ever coached was Brandon Brooks. Ever since he's been coaching. He was a good football player. I forget how the Eagles got him. Where did he come from? Was he a draft pick? Or did they acquire him from somebody? I forget. Was it trade? Yeah, I forgot how Texans. I forgot how they got him. That's right. It was a trade. Makuba is a carbon copy of Gardner Johnson. Dog. That, again, you're projecting, but okay. Except this tape shows Makuba is a much higher IQ for the safety position. So you are telling me you think that Gardner Johnson is a much higher and smarter IQ football player than Gardner Johnson is. That may be very well. But Gardner Johnson's a playmaker. Has 12 picks in the 2 years he played for you. And had Pro Bowl seasons in both years he played. If Makuba is anything near that, that'll be a great draft pick. So is Makuba. How in the world would you know that? This guy hasn't even practiced in full gear yet. And you're projecting to me that this guy's going to be the next Dawkins. How dumb. Makuba's the next. He's it. How do you know? Let's go see it. Again, wishful thinking, hope, vision. Okay. Those are all great. Hey, I'm hoping this guy turns out to be hey, I'm hoping this show does this. Hey, I'm hoping that does this. Hey, I'm hoping but on to me. Yeah, but if you talk to Eagle fans, he sucks now. Yeah. You don't know what you don't know. Must have been something over at the yacht club, right, M. Reyes? There's no projecting. The talent on the offense, it's been proven. Give me a quarterback that can execute the passing game. Hey, dude, I don't need a quarterback to execute the passing game. I need a quarterback to execute the passing game when it's needed. And he did it. You can't dismiss that. I told you on February 10th, that Monday, I can't do that anymore. And Jander's like, oh, we'll wait till week 5 when this guy's throwing for 82 yards again and 4 picks and 1 touchdown. And he's limping around and he's rolling right and he's throwing quails again. Still, you'll have him ranked 18th. Not me. Hey, I'm giving the Time Man of the Year all the kudos. Super Bowl MVP, Time Man of the Year. I mean, Vic sees it like he's like a genie. Like he's a genie. I asked you a question today. You don't even know where you're going to play him. I'm going to play him off linebacker. We're going to play him pass rush. Shit, we're going to play him at D tackle. Why not? All right. I just, like I said, whatever you want to play him is cool with me. I just want to know when the quarterback says hot, where he is. That's it. When the quarterback says hot, Van Kinkle. So wait a minute. You're comparing a kid to a guy who made first team All-Pro last year, and he won't even be on the field until week 8. All right. It's vision. That's a new word here in the last 30 minutes. He says, I have vision. He's Van Kinkle. Okay. Sills, you said that about Bond. Yeah, because I'm sure 31 other teams when Bond was a free agent, everyone said, that guy's an all-pro. Let's get into a bidding war. Wait a minute. Didn't he sign with Philly for $3.5 million bucks? Didn't he sign? I mean, right? Some bidding war. If Zach Bond, everyone thought that they knew what he had, wouldn't he have went for a higher price? Yeah. Vision. Hope. Man, if I was 6'5", 225, I'd be a baller too. Look at that 30D. All right, you guys have been great, man. I really appreciate you guys. By the way, congratulations to the religious world today. Got a new pope, Pope Leo the 14th. As a proud Catholic, it's a great day. Absolutely. Hope he leads our church to greatness. Hope everyone has an absolutely fabulous day. Big Z, Xander, Joe, thank you. 2 to 6 tomorrow, and we shall see you on the flip side.